Mims?
Hello?
Hey, dude. Sorry, I cut you off. What were
I
you
no,
saying?
I appear to be dropping frames, but also if someone doesn't select the camera roll, you get a weird perspective bug.
Okay. No problem. Um, so, Mims, Murray, if I can ask you to go to live casting 2, I'm going to move you in there now.
Yeah, sound.
And
Hello, Mims. Nice to join you on this nice evening.
Hey, Murray, how's it going, man?
Yeah, good, thanks, good. Yeah, looking forward to this. It should be good fun. Can you just? I'm going to put mine to push to button to talk. Can you just see if it still works when it's in Dota? Is that all right?
Yeah, no problem.
Right. Okay, that works there. Let's just see if it works while I'm in. Can you hear me there? Is that all right?
I can hear you go. That works there. Can you hear
Yep,
me there?
spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
spot on. That's spot on. So I've got now. Right, that's ideal. That's mint. Have you done a lot of? Well, I've heard you cast. You cast our game last time, so I assume you've cast a couple.
I mainly just asked questions when Nixon took a breath.
Yeah, he was a chatty guy. Nothing wrong with that though.
No.
Oh,
I'm having an argument with Twitch at the moment.
how come? What's happened?
So I thought I'd test everything at lunchtime.
Yeah.
I went live. I had no dropped frames. I don't think it's Twitch. I think it's my internet. I shouldn't say Twitch.
Yeah,
It
like
was
a personal,
perfect.
like,
It was like an hour and a half, perfect. Not a hitch.
and then
I've gone live now, and I must have dropped 31% of my frames, which is pretty much a PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, that's not ideal at all.
No.
Oh.
So I might.
So who's actually out of everyone who's streaming it? So I assume you're streaming it now. Then in the other group is Lixon streaming it. I assume Lixon's streaming it, and then Chris is streaming it as well. And is there's just going to be 2 streams, is there, or effective 3 because you're streaming as well?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if Frogar streams, and I'm not sure if you've met. You know Rattigan, don't you?
Pardon, sorry, who have I met?
Rattigan, Adam.
No, I've never met him. I've heard of him, like being talked about in conversation and stuff, but I've never met the guy, or spoke to him at least. But yeah, like going into this, obviously, I'm one of the lowest MMRs, I think. The average is kind of like Archon 1-2, I believe, and I'm like Guardian 5 now, which is brutal.
So I have been. I was on, but at the moment I'm heading to be Guardian, based off my last calibration game.
hello, guys.
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
Right. So, enjoy. So we have multiple casters, multiple things going on. The coin flip was won by Noobs Don't Get Rampages, and they picked first pick. And Sarah's team then chose Radiant side. For game 2, these will flip.
Right, okay. Is there, obviously, I don't know the team, so is there any outstanding players who have certain spam heroes? Is there anyone that's a real kind of...
Sure. So there's a chap called Void, who is Henrik. He is an Ancient 2. That makes him the highest MMR player in the tournament.
Oh, baby.
So we'll see what he gets up to. It'll be interesting. However, BDB, the chap, one of the 2 who was doing the interview, he is a Legend 5. So
he's pretty up there as well.
He is pretty up there as well.
So there's no one with like a signature hero that you know of, at least, or someone that spams anything in particular.
So I am aware of, let's see. I mean, Sarah likes her Grimstroke. She does. Unlikely to get banned.
Yeah.
Hayden plays a number of niche heroes, like Earth Spirit. He plays Meepo and things like that.
Nice. That'll be good to cast.
Yeah. So we'll see what he comes up with.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see something different. I felt, our games felt very kind of vanilla, if to say. It was kind of weird support, normal supports, normal carries, kind of stuff. There was nothing really spicy you have to stay. Maybe by that Night Stalker in the first game, but yeah, we'll have to see.
Right. I'm going to try and avoid this becoming an issue for the future by adding these people to my friends list, and then all right, cool. Should be everyone in invites.
Yeah, a lot of them obviously are not on friends, so I can't see what I'm going onto the profiles and seeing if there's any.
All right, so just a heads up, we've got what have we got? We've got Hayden, Saventia, and Ben are all what are they? They are all legend players, and Chris, Sarah are also legend players. So there are some fairly high ranks in these games. There are, however, some liabilities in these games.
Right. What do you mean? Is this what, low MMR players or people that just like to throw the game?
I mean, we can say Zach if we mean Zach, but
wow.
Wait, is our Zach playing? He's not playing. Is he? No, I didn't think so.
No.
Is there another Zach? This is so confusing. So many people.
Okay. So.
Still makes me laugh in the Excel document where it's like adult Chris.
Yeah.
Other Chris.
Yeah.
And then what is it? Idiot Chris.
No, it's like Chris Other. Oh, what's that? Chris Baby.
Chris Baby's what you call him to his face. The other, what Mims just said, is what you call him behind his back. Horrible, but true.
No, Toffee is an absolute champ. Love having him in the team. Very solid player.
Shame you haven't got your webcam on, Benton. I think your nose is growing.
Oh, how dare you, Mims? I think you'll find that we won the last tournament.
That went straight over my head for a second, and I was like, oh, right, okay, I understand this joke now. That's funny.
All right. We are all ready. Sorry, just been trying to drag people into the lobby, which is why I've been a little bit distracted.
No, it's fine, man. You're doing a great job. To be fair, to organise all this has been spot on.
Okay. And we're starting now. Europe West, Captain Mode. Dyer. Dyer got first beam.
Let's go, amigos.
All right. So, I'll be very curious to see what first bans are like here. I expect, based on Hayden's niche hero pool, that he'll get targeted. It's the kind of way that, if you know someone's likely to spam something, you can at least annoy them. All right, so Juggernaut.
Snap ban on the jug, yeah.
Yeah, very annoying.
It'll be interesting. Do the teams know each other that well or not? Because if they know each other, it's going to be...
A few of them know each other. So Invoker is a targeted ban against Ben. He plays a very strong Invoker.
Okay, fair. Yes, interesting.
Ten seconds remaining.
So what do you think the next two are going to be? Do you think we're going to see that Meepo ban, or do you think they're just not going to be that worried about it? Obviously, it comes out... Normally, the pick comes out a lot later. So,
well, OD is a strong meta ban, strong hero.
Yes,
especially in this tournament. Did he even get through the banning phase ever in your series?
I believe he did, but we just don't. Well, our team especially doesn't have anyone that plays it. Like we watched Caustic play it in a pub, and me on Pods 5 had more farm than him at like 20 minutes. It was embarrassing for everyone. And then Matty joined in the queue afterwards and played it and literally carried the game. It was like 26-1 at the end of the game. It was mad. And they were like, Caustic, this is how you do that.
Radiant's choice.
Straight off the back. I love it.
So that's a brave pick. Very bold. That's probably a Hayden hero. He does play a lot of Lone Druid. how good he is at playing Lone Druid, well,
I love that they've just come out, a team NDGR has just come out the gates and be like, we want to play this. This is great. And we're going to do it. And now you need to answer. I really like that they've just been
it's
really
bold.
bold.
You're right.
Yeah.
Very bold.
Instead of
Pudge.
Ooh.
I think that's likely to be Henrik's hero. The ancient player is likely to be playing this.
You think so? What as a mid? Is Void playing the mid then?
I think he's playing 3 or 4. Sorry, go on, Mims.
I think we can, just by these 2 picks, look at NDGR's
push
hyper game they're going for.
Let's end this game sub 15 minutes.
Oh no, they've killed our Lone Druid. Oh, we've lost Barracks. Nature's Prophet is running at us.
I played against this once, like obviously in a much lower MMR, and the Lone Druid obviously buys Ags, and it got to like 60 minutes, and the bear was just running at the racks, and you like kill the bear, but then it's just back in a minute's time, and it's just such a pain. You can't leave the base, so you just lose racks. It's awful, but we'll see how Hendrik plays it. Hopefully, he does a good showing on it.
Also, the Nature's Prophet surrounds himself with treants. Pudge can't get a clear hook.
That is, yeah. I didn't even think about that. It's good for blocking.
Yeah.
And also, what's your opinions of the new shard for him? I think the shard is really interesting.
Oh, for Nature's Prophet, what does the shard do? I actually don't know.
It spawns, I believe it spawns greater treants. When what's the circle called? The circle of trees. When it breaks. Sprout. Yeah, when Sprout breaks, it makes greater treants. So it means that instead of having to wait for the Nature's Guide?
Wrath.
No, the guide or the one that spawns it. It means you can TP to a lane, Sprout on the lane, leave, and that'll push the lane in, and it's on like a 7-second cooldown or something.
Wow.
So you can push in really, really heavily. It's really nice.
Okay. Well, it's interesting seeing the bans coming out here because I believe that Saventia will be playing the Nature's Prophet, and Hayden will be playing the Lone Druid. So I think that's already been determined. In terms of Flaming Marshmallow, I believe this Lina is a nice flex pick. Could go mid, could be a support.
Yeah, I really like the Lina mid. I haven't seen the rest of the draft. I just really like Lina mid. Interesting on the sniper ban though. I just think that, if I'm honest, I just think sniper's just not a good hero at all.
It's interesting to hear you say that. I will bear that
wrong.
in mind.
I might be wrong, and I probably am wrong, but he's just so unmobile as a mid.
I think he's niche. In my opinion, he's niche. He needs tanky frontliners just so he can then go unnoticed and just.
It is frustrating not being able to get him. Yeah,
if you have like a Tide Hunter on your team or Bristleback, someone who's taking the focus and dealing out like return damage and bristles and is hard to kill, and the team have to try and get through them. All the meanwhile, snipers going plink, 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 plink.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I think that maybe it's just I've seen it too many times die to like Storm Spirits, Void Spirits that just get on top of it straight away.
Well,
and
that's
I'm just
why I
so
think it's
biased.
interesting to ban it out so early.
Also, to ban it out, why would you ban it if there's a Pudge?
Exactly. It's not
like
it's not like there's 2 big tanky, or even just one. Even like the Tide. I know the Tide's banned, but even just one on there, they're quite backliney heroes. I want to say. Please correct me if I'm wrong, though. Please correct me, because that will be happening a lot.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. It could just be a comfort pick for one of the players. And that'll be an interesting one. So I'm curious to see.
I think I quite like the Ogre ban from the Marshmallows.
No all chat, very dry. Oh, you like the Ogre ban? Why?
Yeah, obviously Bloodlust on the bear with the root seems really good. Like, that does not seem fun to play into at all. And it's just an all-round good support, right? Everyone loves it.
Yeah, very solid. So I think that's probably a support Jakiro, unless it's a very niche pick mid. Can be very strong mid, but suffers from from mobility issues. I suspect Sarah and TJP, so Glitch and TJP, will be playing the support roles for the Flaming Marshmallows. And I believe that Sorin Loss and Saventia will be playing. Now, I watched an interesting game. Go on.
Now, Benton, tell me about Viper. Do you know anything about this hero?
Well, an interesting thing. I happen to know that this hero won the grand finals this year and got picked 3 times in a row. Honestly, I think it's the best hero in the game. I don't think you can counter it.
I totally agree.
It rounds out the green thing. It's also something where I've noticed they've been experimenting with Sorinlos playing a core Viper. I think trying to see how they can work him most effectively into the team.
So you're thinking it's going to be an offlane or it's probably going to be offlane, right?
POS 1. It could be a POS 1 Viper.
POS 1.
I mean, it's an interesting thing to look at here. But so far, nothing strikes me as a BDB hero. Nothing's very flashy. Nothing's very active. I'll be quite surprised. But they've got quite a versatile lineup so far. All three of these heroes could play all three lanes. So that's quite nice.
I also think you could play if the 5 player is good enough, you can play Prophet as a 5, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Also a flex. I also quite like the break on the Viper against the Pudge, just removing the. Does that work? Removes the flesh.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't remove them permanently.
Of course, but for the duration.
Yeah, it's great to have a break on any team, really. So we're going to see some cores. Puck, that's likely to be mid. Interested to see who's going to be playing that.
I hate Puck. From game 1. I just want to say that now. I hate Puck.
Good to share your traumatized stories there.
We didn't realize
it was Monocle.
Yeah, it was Monocles, and we didn't know the other team, so we didn't know that Monocle played Puck, and we just was like, oh, we'll just ban like the kind of good heroes, and then it was Snap pick Puck, and then we all said at the same time, we're like, well, I guess they've got a Puck player. It was brutal.
Axe. Okay, so this is a Gert special. I'll be interested to see if he goes Tranquils again. Just a small experiment that we're always curious to see how that plays out.
I like Tranks. I like Tranks on every hero. They're great. I think so.
You tend to play support heroes though, rather than heroes that get hit in the face a lot when they blink, call, initiate. Those heroes tend to like these things called phase boots. But let's just see how it goes.
AFK jungle. Axe, that's what I'm calling. But I think, in all seriousness, now I think you might be right with the Viper 1 call. Now I think Viper might be 1. The Lone Druid. Wait, you think the Lone Druid's mid?
I think Well, I was going to say Lone Druid 1, Axe and Nature's offlane, Viper mid.
Yeah, and then there's I didn't know if the Viper was going mid or if it was going 1. It'd be interesting to see it as 1.
Lots of new heroes being picked by NDGR though. They've definitely broken the tournament wide open. I don't think any of these 4 heroes have been played in the tournament so far.
Did NDGR win their last round or lose?
No, this is their first game.
This is their first game. Oh, excellent. Excellent.
10 seconds left.
The Lion ban, what are thoughts there? Obviously, Lion ban and then the Monkey and the Ursa. So,
it looks like they're missing a support on NDGR, which makes sense. I've seen some people try Viper support. It is not the best, but if you ferry yourself a lot of mangoes, you can be a very annoying person. No one likes a Viper pressing Q on them.
I really like the Rasta ban. I was gonna say Rasta would be awesome here, just to hold down that Puck. I really like the Rasta. Always have, and I'm glad that they've banned it.
I think Sam K on your team played a pretty good Lion, locking down that Storm Spirit for large part of the third game.
I was, to be honest, I don't like Lion, like for the same reasons that I don't like Sniper for some reason, and I was extremely impressed with his Lion. Yeah, I was really happy with that.
I think he played it well. I mean, he never got to play as Dark Willow. He's very strong on that hero.
Yeah, every time it was like, well, the Willow's gone. I've never seen him play Willow. Every time, never seen him play it once. We've played like coming up probably 12 games together now, and I've never seen him play it because it's always been banned, and that's not in the tournament.
Yeah, well, he is good, and he's very comfortable on the hero. Very happy to be left alone, and sort of gets his own farm, good kill threat. But anyway, back to this draft. They're into their reserve time, just deciding. So it's an interesting prospect. The other teams who have always secured their supports earlier in the draft. So they're probably thinking what's going to be playing P1. Now, I know that Flaming Marshmallow have been practicing a lot of Spectre. This is what we call a fucking greedy lineup.
I
on
love
Team
it. I
NDGR.
absolutely love it. I think this lineup. If I'm saying it now, NDGR winning this game. I
So-
love it. I absolutely love it.
So I'd like you to count, please, the number of stuns on NDGR's team.
Well, I count Sprout as a stun, and I'll also count Axe Call as a stun. When playing POS 5, they just ruin you. So I count those as
technically,
stuns.
Lone Druid's got a root.
Exactly, Mims. Exactly.
I mean, it's fairly low stun lineups for them.
In other words, no stuns.
Yes, yeah. So I'd love to see something like a Weaver would be
Weaver's
great.
banned. Weaver's banned.
Oh, Weaver is banned. Good shout. Good shout.
I'd like to see something really mobile. I agree.
Yeah.
Something
Spirit Breaker.
is there?
Spirit Breaker's got bash.
Not as a P1.
Yeah, P1 Spirit Breaker. Here we go.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I was thinking like an Ember Spirit.
Well, where do you think this
Spirit
punch
would be
leader's
great.
going?
An Ember Spirit would be great. A Life Stealer. Interesting.
So I don't like Life Stealer because I just feel like whenever you play Life Stealer, I like to have two heroes that you can go into and work well with, and I feel like it's got the puck and that's it.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they're going to go the Pudge? Is it Pudge Aghanims or Pudge Shard, where he can put a hero in and then Life Stealer all invest in him?
That could be an interesting one for sure. But interesting to see Ben playing Viper. This must feel like torture for him based on his playstyle.
Is Ben the mid laner, is he?
Ben is normally a mid laner.
Flashy mid laner, is he?
Yeah, he's a good Storm Spirit player. The Invoker ban was definitely targeted at him. Very interested to see. But Danlo is the mid player for Flaming Marshmallows. Sarah playing Jakiro, definitely a support. Lena, definitely a support on TJP, and Chris playing P1, which he's been playing a lot of. So that's an off-lane Pudge.
How do you feel of the Viper puck matchup? What's your thoughts?
It should, Viper should slam him into the ground repeatedly without stopping.
Yeah, I like Viper as mid.
But you say that they picked puck into Viper.
Yeah, but they also didn't know where they would be laning because
at that point it was a bit.
You could have a lone druid there going mid, and Viper's just no fun to lane against for 95% of the hero pool in Dota. So
yeah, it's brutal. Do we control our own cameras here, guys? I know.
So we do have our own camera control here. Mine's broadcasting to the stream, but I can see. So you can see if you move on the minimap, there is a camera that's moving around, and that is, I believe, Mims.
Streamed one.
Yeah, so that's not. Oh, so who picks the camera role? All right, one of you two picked the camera.
I don't think I've picked the camera role.
I didn't pick the camera role.
Excellent. Well,
but I didn't get the bug. I'm glad I didn't get the bug.
Okay. Well, Sarah walking out trying to build a magic wand first. Never do this, people. Never do this.
What's Sarah playing? A glitch? She's glitchy.
Sorry. Oh, yes. I should use your names because, in my friends list, they're already. And we have
she's playing a Jakira. Yeah, I don't like it. I like a Windlace. Early Windlace. I always like that.
All right. So, whereas Chris, Chris, as you can see, his name is.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just what's hero? Chris. Yeah, okay. Just hero names.
Yeah.
Hero names are easier.
So interesting to see Axe warding very aggressively here for Dire. Moved out really quickly to get down here.
I get the feeling that he's placing this ward so he can cut the creeps and pull it into the small camp, and I really like that. As long as he gets that kind of good start, that he's not going to fall behind if he gets killed a couple of times. It's also interesting to see, obviously on Dire, we've got two level 20. Are they level 25 players? They've both got their master emblems, so they're obviously on comfortable hero.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You've got Lone Druid, plays a lot of Lone Druid, and who else? I think Gert plays a lot of Axe. Yes, he does. So,
Benson,
Void.
Tell me why Sarah's picked up a Clarity instead of just picking up a stick.
Why she has picked up a Clarity? Well, you see, this is why she gets banned from doing things. So they're looping round. I expect first blood to happen here, but there's also been a hook. The bear's been hooked top. So let's see.
The bear's just going to run away though. That thing's chonky.
Oh, body blocked by the creep
as well.
Sarah is getting below.
Sarah is getting below HP.
Bottom.
Well, this trade has gone really well for the Dire team. Lots of regen forced out already. Oh, come on, cut the tree down, Chris. Oh God, slightly tilting there, but okay.
Don't lose it, Chris. It's not your game. It's not your game.
Wow, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. As you can imagine, being with me as team captain would be great fun. Oh,
did the lifestealer just? I know he's gained a bit of health on that salve, but I feel like his salve just got cancelled.
It did.
Which was brutal.
It is brutal, but you know he had to try and get some farm up early. So this is going to be interesting. You got a lone druid, very self-sufficient lane, but the lane I expect to see a kill in is this bottom lane. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit.
It's going to be very hard because Jakiro is very well known for being aggro. The last person you want to aggro is an axe with counter helix.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that fun.
Well, on the other hand, you know, aggroing him with spells is the best way to deal with an axe. But Sarah is being harassed hard out of this lane. Lots of that going backwards and forwards.
She's got a magic stick though.
Yeah, it does have the magic stick. Pudge has gone for hook level 1, so can't really stand in the lane that well. Just went for a hook on the bear and missed. So just keeping a look top. So if we just have a look at last hits, Viper's got an early lead, 6 and 4. This is a Legend 5 Viper player versus an Archon 2 Puck. So you will see a lot of pain. Puck not having skilled phase shift. Means that Puck has just eaten 4, 5. All right, Puck could die here.
Might be dead. Yeah, might be dead.
No, he needed one more right click. He's
also got Fairy Fire, right?
He does. As a Viper spammer myself, he got the hook. He did get the hook. I repeat.
Yeah, and the bears had to gone home. It got Dragon Slaved into stun into LSD into Dragon Slave, which was brutal. I had to run home.
LSA, but yes.
Yep, sorry, my bad.
Your drug-fueled habits, not what we need on this stream. TOS.
I do none of the devil's drugs.
Yep, ferrying 2 salves out. This is a very pessimistic Puck. And right,
Murray's were harmed in the filming of this.
I feel like this Puck is gonna get real mad real soon.
So, can you imagine if this silencer had a stun? This would be what we call a dead punch, but he does not have a stun.
No stuns needed on this team. No fear.
No stuns needed on Dire side. That's why they fed First Blood. But they do have a net worth advantage. The Viper is slamming mid lane, 13-10
to 4. It's brutal.
So this is just what happens when you've got a matchup like this. It's just painful. How are the safe lanes doing? Hayden's getting some farm. Lifesteal's doing pretty well, actually.
He's got boots. I like the boots pickup against the axe. Just lets you walk around, right?
Before the game advances anymore, what are your predictions for the series? I'm predicting 2-0.
I predict a 2-1 game because they don't want me to go to bed at a reasonable time.
I agree, Chris. Me too. I'm picking up a car at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, or leaving the house at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Ah, you work in the motor trade as well. My girlfriend works in Toyota.
Oh, really? Yeah, I love Toyota. Absolutely love it.
Who are you working with? Oh, that's a rage for no good reason. That's 75 mana wasted. All right,
BKB on downtime.
Yeah.
I work for a small independent. It's lovely.
Okay. Wow, look at this. Early mech. This team has a game plan. They wish to group and push early. Hayden is walking at the Pudge. There's this thing called Micro Hayden, where you move the hero that in the... Oh, nice Duke of the LSA.
Yeah, it was nice.
Now, Hayden, if you could hit the Lina with the bear, perfect. And feeds, but... But yeah.
Feels bad.
If that... if the Micro had been a little bit better, might have gotten away there. But they're doing all right.
DD now, so...
Viper DD.
It's going to be sad.
Despite feeding both of these kills, they're still with a net worth advantage. I think there's a clear game plan here to group up. Oh my god. It only took 25 ranks, but finally he has built a phase boost. Oh, Gert, take a bow, son. Take an absolute bow.
I would like to see drinks here.
Bloody AA spammers, I tell you.
What can we do?
What can you do, indeed? Oh, misses uphill. This Puck sat here, no mana, very unhappy. 5-minute runes. The Lina's got it. Axe casually with the creep pull.
Not to throw her under the bus.
I really like that the Viper. No, sorry, Mims. That the Piper has kind of queued up straight pipe. I think that's absolutely awesome. Love it.
Oh,
Puck
here we go.
is
Yeah,
not having fun.
Puck is dead.
Viper just walked away, didn't even look at the death. I appreciate that.
Cool kids do not look at explosions. That
just
is correct.
beat me to it. Just beat me to it.
But yes, phase boots on the axe. It's a 2k net worth advantage despite those 2 early deaths on Hayden. Hayden tanking the deaths for the good of the team, like a true champ.
So just moving back to your predictions, I think I agree with you. I think that the what is it? NDGR. I think they're gonna stomp this game just from the initial drafts. I know there's no studs. I know that, but I think
this
that
push lineup,
I really like it. I really like it. Out the gate, swing in, and just do it as fast as you can.
Fluffy hat on the puck, going, I assume, for a Falcon Blade. I don't think that's a good choice.
I would like to see a bottle, and then just start getting active when you've got 6.
Yeah, but this Viper is a huge
Fluffy hat, or do you reckon he's going?
He's very built Fluffy hat. I mean, if he goes Orb of Corrosion, I can understand it. It's still an interesting choice on a ranged hero. Oh, Gert could have gone. Nope, no points in call.
The Lena down bot getting ready. It looks like they're going to try and make something happen.
Yeah, they have left the Pudge solo top. They should be more aggressive on this Pudge.
The ice misses.
Yeah,
that's a lot of fear. Oh, nice sprout
as well.
Nice sprout. All right, and they're just walking away. All right, the Pudge has gone in solo, killed the lone druid because the silencer TP'd bottom. All right, so
questionable TP from the Nature's Prophet. Then
I think the silencer TPing down bottom just fed his safe lane. That's a little bit cruel. A little bit harsh of him to do that to his buddy.
Second death on the lone druid as well, right?
I think that's his 3rd death. Oh, second death. Yeah, 1 on the silencer and 2 on the lone druid. That's unfortunate, but they seem to be leaving him well enough alone. And the Viper is still kicking in teeth middle, 40 and 23.
Do you think it gets to a point here where the Lifestealer could just kind of solo carry it? If it gets like that 65-minute mark, or do you think that I
would never be confident having a Lifestealer into a Viper strike. You know, that's a BKB piercing, slow damage. It's pretty brutal. They're going to dive this axe. Have a look bottom. Oh, he's fluffed the call. I repeat, he's fluffed the call.
Or Pudge rotating.
They didn't even get it. They didn't even get the
didn't get it. Well, Gert fluffs the call. He'll be kicking himself, but he knows what he's done. All right, let's see. Hayden going aggressive top. Let's see. Does the Nature's Prophet get out? Yes, he does. Oh, Sarah just too slow with the ice path.
I feel like my call on team. I'm just going to start calling them Team Lone Druid. It's kind of backfiring. Bar this Viper. Yeah, exactly. This bar this Viper, everyone seems to be kind of just stuttering a bit.
Well, you know, they've tried to be aggressive. They tried to stem the bleeding bottom. I think they. What's this lone druid going? He's got phase boots on the bear. He's a bit behind in net worth, but I believe in him to come back. He's still ahead of the life stealer, despite these deaths.
We've got the Vipers down.
The Vipers down. This Pudge is rotating early. He's making that early lead that he had top work. It's something where
almost a blink dagger as well.
He's almost at blink dagger. So
there's although there's 70 gold between the Viper and the Pudge.
Yeah. Well, that's after the death. You know, I think they should be looking to mirror these movements. Instead, you've got the axe, the silencer, and the Nature's Prophet all holding hands here. I don't think there's any need for that. No need for that. Pudge is just deciding who he wants to kill. He's got smoke in the inventory. Very, very confident chap.
I think I'd like to see. I was going to say I'd like to see him go top and try and kill the lone druid again, but I also like the bot. I think it's nice.
Well, he's gone bottom, but if this axe just senses what's going on and plays back a little bit,
stunning hook. If he just creeps out here, he's so nice.
I see it. Oh, look, he's going for the axe.
He moved back. He moved back. If he stayed here, he would have hit that. I think.
This is a rough one though. Every second this Pudge is down here is a fail. It's not his fault. He's doing what he can for the team. Oh, Sarah, this thing called an ice path, it's got a bit of a delay, it's a bit of a cast delay, but these rotations, if this Pudge misses this hook,
Oh, it's
these rotations are costing NDGR a lot. This Pudge had a big net worth advantage on top, and now Hayden's catching up.
He's gaining NDGR, right? Am I wrong? Wait.
Sorry, gaining?
Yeah, gaining them advantage, right?
Yes, gaining Team Lone Druid advantage, as you would say. I'm not a fan of this tri-lane bot. I think they should be helping out Hayden top. This Puck's TP'd top. Try and get a kill. Hayden should see this. Yeah.
They're going on the bear, though.
Yeah, they're going on the bear. This Puck player, I think, has been a little bit shook. All right, so, yep, the Viper's there. Saventia's coming in. All right, let's see. We've got Viper and the Nature's Prophet. That's fine. The Viper's going to get it. That's a good trade. That is a good trade.
The Puck just stood here. He had coil up. Maybe I'm wrong. But...
Puck did not have mana. If you have a look at his mana, he only had about 190. So that was great work. Saventia and BDB played together a lot. You saw the buddy play coming in there. That Nature's Prophet coming in, sprouting, tanking the hook for his Viper, and then carefully letting himself die to give the Pudge a mega kill streak before then letting the Viper claim it. Great work on him there. The Pudge is TPing in. Oh no, BDB should be aware that he's up on the respawn timer. Oh, but he should just ult. Just press your ult, BDB. BDB, put your fucking ult on. Anyway,
another ice path macropire missed.
The macropire is farming, as you can see. Very careful. Lots of farm required on a Jakira.
Oh, I'm sorry. How could I have been so blind? That's what that was for.
Yeah, but yes, I suspect there was a little bit of panic from BDB there, from not pressing his Viper strike straight away. But it worked out. You know, this Pudge did get a kill, did get a flesh heap stack, but the Silencer finally got some int. They've got global now. That's 6 on him. This Axe is ferrying himself something. What's he got? He's got the blink dagger. It felt about that time. So Axe has a blink. I think this is it. This is NDGR's time to go. Viper's back up. Like, look, they're going again. Rumble mid. All right, you've got the Axe.
Sarah hit an ice path?
Can Sarah hit an ice path? Now that's a lot of flame from a man who missed a lot of AA blasts, but
couple.
Oh, come on! Oh dear, that is a lot of pain. That is a lot of pain right there. But it's fine. It's fine. The Pudge has only TP'd mid the last 3 times. It's fine. These things are not predictable.
Decent damage on the tower top. Not amazing.
Oh, that's his death. Oh, did you see this? This backstab from this Lina waiting in the trees. Very, very sneaky there.
Nice. I like that.
Very sneaky indeed. So what have we got?
Third death on the Lone Druid. How's his farm progression
going? His farm is all right. He's about neck and neck with the Lifestealer, even though the Lifestealer hasn't died, which means that he's actually farming fairly efficiently. Lifestealer's going a fighting build. He's getting a Sanj first up. He's pretty poor.
I like it. He's going straight halberd, do we think?
Yeah, straight halberd. Oh, that's a call.
I like it.
Right, there's the blink reveal mid. Blink reveal mid. Let's see. Is Sarah dead? Yep, Sarah is probably dead.
They can take the tower off the back of this?
They should be able to take the tower nice and easy off this, and Viper will no longer have to feed mid in the same place. It's progress. It is progress. So, Silencer, pretty poor. Jakira, pretty poor.
I think that the Axe... Oh, I thought he was going to go and farm this camp, then farm this camp, and just take over their jungle, but he just wants to go back across the river, it turns out.
Well, it's interesting, you know, maybe he's a little bit shook. This Pudge has been involved in 9 out of the 9 kills for
that's pretty good, that.
For Flaming Marshmallow. Yeah,
also, another item timing coming out. The Viper has now picked up his pipe, which will be a nuisance.
Yeah, he did, however, have that when he died earlier, so he's going to learn that until you actually have some HP, pipe is not that useful on an agi hero. Speaking from experience here as someone who's made the mistake of building pipe first on Viper before. But they're following the game plan to perfection. They are grouping up as a 5-man and pushing top. They are pushing top, mass rotations. That Pudge is TPing in. If the Axe gets a good call, if the Axe gets the Axe does get a good call. Okay, BDB does not press his ult. That's fine.
Pipe popped.
He does now. Pipe popped, and they get the Pudge. That's a lot of net worth.
And the tower.
They get the tower. The group up as 5 strap.
I feel like that isn't as bad if they keep the tower, but with both there, it just
this is a clear game plan, and I love it. This is the first time we've seen a game plan executed like this, and I'm actually so proud. I'm so proud of these guys.
Yeah, it's really nice to see people not just picking comfort. Oh, they are comfort picks as well.
Oh, look
have
at
a
this
strategy.
dive though. The axe going in. Oh, the life stealer. He wants to help. He wants to help, but it's a dunk. All right. He could have infested Sarah there and thrown off the culling blade timing, but that's a hard move.
High level play that.
Is this leader afraid of using Laguna? I've not seen a Laguna blade this game.
I did see her Laguna, the lone druid top. That's true.
I'd really like to see them now take the opposing radiant.
You're right. I would like to see them just group up. Oh, they found the ancient stack. Well done. Look at that. Aggressively taking that away. I'd pop the salve now, Gert. But that's fine.
He's keeping that for later. He knows what that's for.
Yeah, he knows. That's an arcane rune. Maybe the Viper will take that. Yes, he will. Oh, yep. Now, it looks like a little bit of indecision. So NDGR are not a group up as 5 lineup. I repeat, they are not a group up as 5 lineup. However, would you like to repeat after me? What are they doing now?
Grouping up as 4.
That is quite right. They are grouping up as 4. The Pudge has decided to farm because he understands that these things are important. But right now, a massive, massive tempo advantage. Oh, but they should not split up. I repeat, you should not split up with a pipe first on a Viper. Please do not leave your team until all of the tier 2s are done.
Oh, yep. Viper's TP'd out.
TPing bottom. I love it. And look at these treants scouting. Lovely,
to be fair, though, Axe has got a blink. Nature's can TP.
Yeah.
All right, it's only 3 of them that can rotate. Or 2 of them can rotate on a dime, but it still buys time for the rest of the team to catch up, sort of thing.
You are right. Yeah. You are right. That is true.
I like the axe. I think he's going blade mail next. He's picked up the broadsword.
Yeah, that's right. And he's got the chainmail, so he's most of the way there. Probably coming out to him soon.
Of course. I don't like, if I'm honest, I don't like that the Vipers picked up the Staff of Wizardry over Second Crown. Obviously, what you said earlier about having the HP, I feel like the +4 and the strength would be more.
I'm not a fan of the Meteor Hammer. I know for me it's a bit memey.
Who's going Meteor Hammer?
Nature's Prophet.
Just picked up.
Nature's Prophet has gone Meteor Hammer. Well, it is memey, but it also does allow them to push a lot better. And just remember, there aren't many quick stuns on either team. You've got Puck with Dream Coil, but here we go. They're smoked up. They want this fight. The axe is showing. They're going to, if he gets Global Silence off, press Global. Press Global. Press Global.
There it is.
Okay, it's a little bit slow, but they are going to get. They are going to get the. That's a buyback from the Pudge. That is a buyback from the Pudge. And the Puck goes down. All right, that is Laguna Blade. All right, so that's a buyback. They're going to get a nice trade out of this. They're going to get some Flesh Heap stacks, and they're TPing mid to... Oh, TP out. Yep, that's fine. TP out. Nice and safe.
What do you think the Pudge's next item is?
Well, he's just bought himself a plate mail, so I'm going to guess he's going to buy himself either a Lotus Orb or Shivas or something, but the Pudge's farm has dropped off. That buyback's going to hurt him a little bit. They're grouping up. If he gets a nice blink call, could be quite effective. Oh no, that was too bold. Your team is not awake yet.
Counter blink.
This is a massive counter initiation. If there was a single fucking stun on the Dire team. On the Dire team, they could have punished that Pudge there, but you will notice what no stun lineups do.
Away.
Yep, walk away. Plus, you know, a lifesteal infest was very effective there. That is a big old wodge of HP. Yep, so you'll see that's the Lotus Orb being built into there by the Pudge. Interesting, he's not going for the mana boots and turning them. Disassembling them later on. That's fine. We can all improve, Henrik.
Why do you think he's gone for Lotus Orb? What targeted, bar the Viper Stroke, what targeted things do you think he's wanting to block here?
He's purging global silence.
Oh, it purges as well, of course. Well, of course, I didn't know that, but it does purge. Chris is correct.
So, Mims, I've been slagging off people for at least 5 minutes without you interrupting. What are your thoughts?
I still don't think. I mean, just looking at the scoreboard, the time, and the goal difference, I think Flaming Marshmallows are on a timer still.
Yeah, you think they're on a timer? Okay.
I feel like they're on a timer. If they're winning these team fights,
I like
because Nature's Prophet isn't turning up.
We got big fight. We got big fight. Bot goes on the axe. This is an interesting choice. Yep, he's broken that Pudge. That Pudge was a little too manly. All right, let's see the root. Let's watch a root happen.
In the back.
I want to. Oh, the meteor hammer. Boom. Oh. That's excellent connection there. Oh, the puck's just going to orb and walk away.
Macro to slow down the push.
Yeah, I mean, smart enough, but I don't think it's enough.
No,
they're taking
I think,
tower.
Nature's got TP to a different tower.
Just want to bring your attention to the Nature's Prophet picking up his Agamemnon Shard, as I called.
Oh, well done. Really, really well done.
Still as 5 going to the mid lane, straight up through the jungle and back.
Those giant trades to 108 right click.
Yeah, that is a fatty right click. I repeat, that is a fatty right click.
Yeah, they're butch.
A fatty right click. Do they give more? How much more gold do they give for?
Well, let's find out. They give 23 gold.
Yeah.
That does not feel like a lot. Well, good call on that shard there. That looks like.
To Roshan, interesting. Oh, they've scanned it, which is nice.
Oh no, what is this puck doing?
Well, this puck is being very brave. Is what this puck's doing.
I think the puck assumed
they smoked.
Stayed in there.
Yeah, they've smoked, and look, like you said, this Nature's Prophet going bottom, very annoying.
Absolutely love it.
Incredibly frustrating days.
I hate, but I love it.
Oh, but the Pudge has had enough of this. All right, have a look.
Now he just leaves.
And he does. You are so right, sir. You are so right. Look at this.
Oh, does he hide in the bushes?
Oh, he's hiding in the bushes. Oh, he's going to poke his head out. Is he going to put that sprout down, like you say?
Look how frustrating this is. Like,
oh my god.
Has to come back for this.
Yeah, that's 700 health.
Yeah, and now when he leaves, he's just going to pop back out, sprout here, and then just do the same thing. It's the tier 3 is at half health already.
That is amazing. Great call there. But this fight is not going great, and now that Roshan is pretty low. No blink on this puck, but they should try.
If they're going to fight for Roshan, they've got to go in now, in my opinion.
Yeah,
they can't wait anymore.
Yeah, I agree with Mims. I don't like this in and out kind of thing. I think
for which team? For which team? Because I think for Team NDGR, they love it.
Like Flaming Marshmallows, what are they achieving in their triangle at the moment? They delayed the Roche, but
oh
their
boy,
Pudge doesn't get far because he's afraid of the Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet is just powering and pushing.
Look where the Prophet is again. He's just doing his thing. This is the most frustrating thing in the world, but I love it.
Like they have to make a choice, Flaming Marshmallows. Do they give up Roche or do they give up Barracks?
Here we go. All right, Macro Pyre into the pit. This is a lot of damage. That axe is very low. This is a okay. Right,
he's gonna get it.
Oh, and the axe makes it away. Very nice.
Trapped in that Never Toxin.
It's trapped in that Never.
Barracks is dropping.
Yeah, Bomb Barracks is dropping. Good shout. Oh, and the axe comes back in. Very brave. Very brave. I respect that. Oh, that's a massive team fight. Absolutely massive. He's dead. He's dead. If the axe dunks him. Oh, he doesn't even need to. And they're looping racks. Go on, fight him. Fight him, Day. Show him that you're a man.
Here we go. No, just the Yules.
Come on, just click him. Click him. Click him, TJP. Alright, now Day, turn around, roast him. Look how many treants you've got. Roast him! Oh, Day, you're a wuss. Alright, reported for cowardice.
The Luguna blade not used.
Yeah, I know. I was just
Like,
thinking that as well.
Even if you just Laguna Blade and he TPs away,
Radiant's middle tower
Still, you've
is
cast
under
your
attack.
spells, right?
you've cast your spells,
Like,
and he has to back because he's lost so much HP.
Yeah, imagine a scenario, Mims, where he's actually TP to the top lane instead of the bot, like into the base, and your Laguna Blade now is on like 15% HP.
You know, this is an excellent, absolutely excellent strat that's been executed marvelously. High ground's always a tough one. They've already got half a lane of barracks down. I think that Team NDGR should be really, really happy with where they're at.
Love it. Saying that,
That said,
did have the Light Strike array for the Viper mid there, Mims.
I felt Aegis was wasted. Like the fight there was. When did Aegis drop?
It dropped.
It's gone. It's gone.
I know it dropped, but then Viper went in and tried to take this all by himself.
Yeah,
they did. That's true.
To be fair, the mid tower is sat on 54 HP.
Yeah. You know, I think they're just going to end this. Yeah, I think they will end this. There's permanent damage on this range racks as well.
And Nature's Prophet's back in his favourite position in the bot lane.
Yeah.
He's just living there, he loves it. Bye-bye range racks. How frustrated must Sarah be looking at that, just knowing that she can't do anything? Like, that's just the worst feeling in the world, right? Pudge is going in to try and find him, though. He's on a mission. If he just hooks straight down here, he's going to get him.
Oh, the dream! Can he get the one right click? No.
Oh. Unfortunate.
And he's top. This is just horrible.
Oh, this is horrible. This is
like,
a thing of horror.
The rest of Lone Druid
Yeah.
just get to farm. Like
Yeah.
the Nature's Prophets just splitting them up. I feel like I'm proper fanboying, but I love this. It's absolutely so good.
This is a good shout, and like you say, if they ignore this axe, he's just gonna have a fun old time. He's just going to. So if they try and split up and push out these lanes, that axe and that Nature's Prophet can
pick
TP
them
in.
off. Yeah, pick them off. What do you think the axe's next item is? Obviously, he's got the hood. Do you think it's a casual hood, or do you think he's going to go Ethereal Shroud, or?
I think it's a casual hood, so he can stand in that macro pyre and not feed.
Okay,
Right?
okay,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I think he could go pretty much anything he wants at this point. There's a whole host of goodness. Now this Viper's got the Atos. It's a nice group up item.
Cloak of Flames on that
Cloak of
axe.
Flames, beautiful.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's just when are they going to try and finish this game? Like it's more treants coming up into the mid lane. Like that tower's falling.
Yeah. I mean, this is a solid five-man strat. It's 30 minutes in, but it must feel like torture. Oh, here comes that Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, love him. My favorite hero. What hero do you think they should have picked? Obviously, the last pick.
Oh, here we go. Let's see. Do they get to punish the Nature's Prophet? Oh, they finally do.
The rest of the team are coming in, though. The rest of the team are coming in.
Nah, it's too late. That's Laguna used. Yeah.
But like they've lost their.
And they've taken the racks.
Nice axe call on the lifestealer.
Oh, that's a really nice macro pyre. Oh, global is a bit slow. That axe is feeling it.
Down together.
Go mid.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is gonna be megas. Look at this Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I love this. Absolutely love it. And then they just back out, taking the rack spot. They're pushing on mid, then back out and don't lose any more. I think it's great. So going back to my question, obviously the last pick was the Lifestealer. What do you think they should have picked? If obviously seeing now the draft, is there anything they could have picked to make it a lot better, or do you think that the Lifestealer should have gone like from Maelstrom for the clearing of the waves?
You know, it's a hard game. You know, 5-man strats require the whole team to kind of get behind it. So Jakiro's a really good pick into this. Puck's fine. Oddly enough, I don't think the Pudge is a great pick.
It was the first pick, though.
It was the first pick, and he picked it for himself. I think he underestimated the team. I think he's paying for his hubris.
Maybe.
Oh,
yeah,
look.
maybe he wanted to just flex on him a little bit with the Pudge, just dominate the game, and he just has fallen off. Axe call on Sarah, hook from the Pudge into the dismember.
Oh, here we go. Well, is he going to get this kill?
Doesn't matter though. The Nature's Prophet's TP top. He's taking the range of whichever
the
racks.
Melee racks. Oh,
yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, ice path by Sarah.
And it catches him. Well done.
Yeah.
Now that's good. Better responses. Well, you know,
buyback.
That is a buyback. You know, it's a fairly low one, and they keep up 2 lanes.
Maybe they're clawing back into this.
You know, this game is throwable, as we saw. Murray, could you speak to us about the nature of throwy Dota? I'm sorry.
Well, let me just bring that up with you 1 second.
This is a dead silencer. He should not have shown his daytime vision. Oh, but they don't have protection.
Has done work.
Yeah, but
another lone druid's here. The Viper's TPing in.
Just rage and eat it.
Yeah, but now they're out of position. Here we go. Snipers, Punch has been rooted.
Yep.
Dream coil on the back lines.
That's a really nice dream coil.
Yeah.
There is macro pyre at some point on the axe.
Axe core, lovely, into the dunk and the puck.
What was this 4-star forward, Sarah? What was this 4-star forward?
And she's down as well, and they're just cleaned up.
Yeah, this is a cleanup indeed. They need to get out.
What a call.
Yeah. Just leave him.
Yeah.
Just leave him.
It's almost tap out time, I think. And a dunk. Beautiful.
Oh, and the dunk. Oh, satisfying. I mean, they did have a moment there, but that Glimmer Cape saved
Glimmer Cape
him.
just got him back to this point here, and everyone was on this line. I loved it. I mean, big call on the axe again, just holding it. Oh, missed the dunk, but I think it's too late, really.
I think it is. I think...
Take the mid lane.
Oh, and he snipes it. Oh, that's a rage buyback.
Yeah,
that's a rage buyback. This is all 3 lanes. This is a quick game 1. People.
I'd love them to do now to take the racks back out and just let it last for another 5 minutes, just for the mental damage. Like, just the mental.
Oh yeah, hurt them for game 2. You're right. I'd go take Roche again if I was them.
Exactly. Just out and then just get them.
Yeah. I'd take the tier 4s down and I'd go get Roche. You know, I just ruin
drums, because the nature's probably got drums. I love drums. Drums are awesome.
Well, I think he's just picked out.
Yeah, anyway, moving back to a throwy nature. Oh, well, moving back to a throwy nature. It's over. What happens is a team dies, and then everybody buys back, and then you have no buyback for when you all die again. It's brutal.
Yep. And this looks like game.
Nice
and
coil.
Synergy is called and called again.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important to remember that a bear will happily push down your lanes, even if he's had a rough start. Well, that's
about that game.
Well, that's game 1 down. Well, we're going to have a short break. I take it back. Apparently, they do really, really want me to have a nice early night, and I appreciate and respect that.
I really appreciate that as well. A 4 o'clock in the morning start. If there was 3 games, like an hour apiece, I would not be happy.
I mean, it's Rat Dota. It's Rat Dota, and I think they executed it really, really well.
Level 27 Druid. That's the guy's put in some, whatever his name is, I can't even say that, has put in some work on that lone druid.
Yeah.
Especially in the laning phase. He got left on that laning phase, didn't he?
Yeah, he took a pounding at the start with that pudge.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you had to put it down to one thing, guys, what would you put it down to? Do you think it's the draft, or do you think it was a point where someone left a lane? What do you think lost them the game?
I think it was something where they were clawing their way back into it, but they failed to recognize the threat of the of grouping up. They just failed to recognize the threat of grouping up. I was not aware that Sarah was streaming. I'm gonna put that on. I hope she has a stream delay on, but I'm also going to put that on her own responsibility to manage that because she streams a lot more than the rest of us.
Yeah, there is a stream delay. I didn't really want to make it public in case anyone was watching our streams.
Cool. Well, that's fine. Good to know. Radiant there. Edit. That's 1 game in for that. Let me find out how we're doing. 5-minute break.
If it's all right with you, I'm just gonna go check on my dog.
No problem. We're gonna have a 5-minute break. So Murray, you and I can deconstruct.
Yeah, definitely. To be fair, if you look at the graphs, the gold, the gold and XP was never a massive detriment until that kind of 30-minute, 27-minute mark.
Yeah.
which I thought was quite interesting.
It's all of those towers going down, you know, all of those towers going down.
The thing that, well, obviously, I agree, but with that said, on the flip side, that if imagine if Flaming Marshmallows managed to hold and kind of pull it back a little bit, had a bit more late game focused heroes, and then they take those towers, then they get that gold influx. I feel like it was a real good point. That
It was, but Flaming Marshmallows did not have a late game lineup.
I agree, 100%. There's not a hero on that team I'd like to see past 60 minutes. I don't think.
Yeah, it's something where, and I think they picked the Life Stealer into the Viper. I think they just didn't know what to do.
I think by that last pick they were really put into a corner where they were just like what were the first two picks? It was the Lone Druid and the Nature's Prophet. Maybe they just haven't played against these 5-man kind of in your face, push down lanes kind of drafts. And do you think that NDGR is going to do this again? Do you think that's what their plan is?
If they can, no need to change it. It's not broken, don't fix it, and all that.
I agree. I love that saying. So do you think that, just another question, I know Flaming Marshmallows, do you think they're going to try and pick things to prevent this, like the Treant Protector? I don't know if they have anyone who plays that. The Treant Protector seems like a good shout. Obviously, the Jakira is nice into it, but it didn't really.
Well, it's interesting. You know, they've shown one strategy. I'm sure they have more than one. They'll probably ban out the Lone Druid, is my guess, and see what they can put Hayden on.
I would love to. I'm a big Meepo fan. Like, I don't play it well at all, but I love it, and I would really, really like to see a Meepo. I think that's awesome.
Well, it's also something where there was a big mismatch mid. You know, that puck into Viper. It's a difficult lane, but it is a winnable lane for the puck. But there's a big skill difference there. Legend 5 into an Archon 2 with an unfavorable matchup, very difficult for them to play that. So I think if their mid had beaten the opposing mid, that would have just
could have set the tempo a bit more.
Because you know that Viper having those team items, he was the linchpin. He got all that net worth, spent it on team items.
What did he bought the pipe, then he bought the Rod of Atos, and then into Guardian Greaves did he buy? Like, I love it.
Yeah.
I know I've said I love it so many times, but I just genuinely think that their draft is what I hate and love about Dota. I love playing with it because it's just so fun. Like, when you're barreling down lanes, just destroying towers is great. But when you're against it, like that, I know I keep going on about the Nature's Prophet, but I think MVP for Nature's Prophet. I just thought I loved it. You probably disagree. I think you'll put it on the Viper or the Druid, right? Maybe the Axe. The Axe, they all played well. I don't think you can really maybe put it on one person, right?
Yeah.
Yo, Dinez.
I am going to quickly go grab a drink.
No worries, go get it.
And I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Discord. Thanks very much for the raid, my friend. How many more times did you have to rebuild the Seamoth? Be honest. Be honest. Yeah, there is a 5-minute delay. It's just to stop potential stream snipes. I'm not sure if you're aware, Dinez, but Twitch on Glitch is in this tournament. We are currently waiting for Game 2 to get underway. Game 1 was a bit... One team seemed to pick their comfort picks. The other team seemed to go with a conventional push strat with a Lone Druid, Nature's Prophet, Axe. You know that you knew their intent from the beginning. Let's see if they are ready for game 2. They're just creating the lobby at the moment. We'll put on some music in the background, just because it's nice to have music in the background. While we wait to get into game 2. That's super quiet. Toucan. Hello, man. Hello, Toucan. Oops. Benton or Murray, you here? No, they're still missing. MIA. Yeah, there is a predetermined rule that there'll be a 5-minute match, 5-minute break between matches.
Yes. Who's questioning Mims?
Oh, I'm just clarifying to the my Twitch chat.
Ah, thank you very much.
But I'm replying with a 5-minute delay, so they've already waited 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, I'll learn. Damn it.
So, this is a bit of a personal question to both of you. If you get to see one hero next game, who do you want to play it, and what do you want to see?
I expect panic stations from the Flaming Marshmallows. I expect no more Mimi Pudge first picks. I think they were cocky, and I think they're going to panic.
I would like to see the niche profit player play Clockwork.
Okay, nice. And Chris, you didn't really answer the question. You kind of dodged.
Okay, you're right. I would like to see. I would like seeing a Meepo out of Hayden. I'd love to see that. They should be high on confidence. I'd love to.
So I was on the same kind of train, but when I went to make a drink, but I've kind of flipped, and I'd really like to see NDGR pick a very kind of vanilla draft. I'd like to see like a Morphling mid, just something that's kind of cookie cutter, wins the game. If they want to win this, I think they should maybe rein it back and just play very cookie cutter.
I do agree with something Benson said in the last game, that they went with comfort picks, whereas the other NDGR went with a clear strat and executed around that strat. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's very much about the how would you say it? Like the player as well. Like for example, maybe Voy is a lot more confident with a lot more heroes, while I don't know where I'm going with this. I had somewhere I was going with this, but it makes no sense anymore. But yeah. That's where I was going with this. Yeah, maybe that the team NDGR just have practiced more and put these strats into place, while the Flaming Marshmallows might have just been playing, instead of sitting down at the start of the game and go, this is what we want to play and want to practice, we'll just pick what we think is good together and what we're comfortable with.
I think there was it was brought up in the draft, there was a distinct lack of stuns. So how do you stop it? How do you stop a push strat with just Ice Path and Pudge Hook?
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't think about that. I was only thinking on the one side of NDGR, there was little stuns. But effectively, you're right, on both sides, there was very little stuns.
And even with
Murray,
Ice Path and Pudge Hook.
Murray, can you join the broadcast channel? And Mims, can you join the broadcast channel, please?
Of course.
Are you going to add us to that?
No, if you just click on it on channel name.
In game.
Mims.
I'm in.
It's Mims here.
Yo,
Do you know how to get my title midstream?
Yeah. So you're in Streamlabs. It's the little pencil above your stream chat.
Nice. I knew it was there. Thank you, dude. Thank you.
No worries, man.
Is the Lone Druid player known for playing Arc Warden? Do we know?
He has played Arc Warden, but in the same way that he didn't play Lone Druid particularly well, I don't think any individual player. So obviously the mid lane matchup, the individual player did well, but beyond that, just the team strat worked very well. So you saw slow global silences, FM, you ready? You saw. All right, here we go. So, let's see what's going to happen. I suspect.
I'd love to see an Arc one. I just want to put that out there.
Dyer's man.
I'm very curious to see that.
First bands, here we go. Lone Druid and Viper.
I would not be surprised to see a nature's. But they still respect the Invoker.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I agree. I assume you're going on to say the Nature's Prophet ban.
Yeah, I was going to expect a Nature's Prophet ban. I think it's a good utility pick. I think it does a lot, and it's just that annoying hero. You know,
Who plays the Jug on Flaming Marshmallows every time? Both.
It's just a safe carry. You know, it's hard to deal with. An Omni Slash can always turn the course of a fight, but that Nature's Prophet ban.
There it is, boys.
Yeah. I mean, they don't mind. They'll play into an OD, but they're no Nature's Prophet.
I mean, what is the counter to OD? Just a diffusal on like a PL?
Dyer's choice.
The OD?
It doesn't matter, he's been banned.
Yeah, I know. Wow.
To be fair, I think NDGR did ban the Jug and the OD. I think they're just doing meta bans. And I'm trying to remember what Flaming Marshmallow banned in the last series. I mean...
They banned a Weaver and an Ogre.
Yeah, but I think that was later on.
They were different bans on different teams, weren't they? NDGR banned the Weaver and the Flaming Marshmallows banned the Ogre, right?
Quite possibly. All right,
Love
here
the
we
Grim.
go. Flaming Marshmallows going for the Grim, so no more Jakiro for Sarah.
I remember someone saying, is Sarah quite confident on the Grim? I get the feeling she is.
She's played it a lot. Here we go. We got a nice
Straight out
solid.
with Ogre. Love it.
I think Ogre got banned out in the last series.
He got banned out in the second phase by NDGR. By Flaming Marshmallows, sorry. Obviously, I mentioned with the Lone Druid Bear and the Bloodlust.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
So do you think Flaming Marshmallows is going to try and put a strategy into place this game, or do you think they're going to stay with comfort and stay with what they kind of know, if to say, not instead of incorporating like a push strat, incorporating a 5 protect 1, or 4 protect 1, sorry.
Yeah.
I would quite like to see a 4 protect 1 on like a. Obviously the picks haven't been shown, but I'd like to see like a Phantom Lancer, something like that, or like a Brood Mother. I think that'd be really interesting.
I mean, a Brood Mother. I don't know. Only one team in the history of Lockdown Showdown has ever picked a Brood Mother, and that team, they're a dirty, dark team who shall remain nameless. But they did have.
If my memory serves me well, the Brood Mother wouldn't use ult all game.
Well, that's true.
You like calling people out for not using their ult mims.
No, this was pretty well documented. The Brood Mother would not ult.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
10 seconds left.
Anyway, let's talk about these picks again for NDGR. The Viper just saying,
well,
look,
Viper
dumps to the mid lane.
Viper is a horrible mid laner. I love him. I've played him. He is a horrible thing to deal with. You do not like dealing with the Viper. Just speaking from experience.
Agreed. What do you think? What do you think Flaming Marshmallows can do to counter this? Do you think they've got to?
You could take a Lena. You could stick her mid, and you can just wave clear. And just ignore the Viper. You could put Storm mid, just anything that can wave clear, and then you just trade farm with the Viper, and he can't threaten to kill you. And that way,
for me, I think you need lockdown supports like a Shadow Shaman with a Hex, a Lion who's got a Spike and a Hex.
I would love to see a Lich, actually. I'd love to see the Grimstroke Lich combo.
Oh, yeah, that's dirty. I love it.
That would be dirty. I think that would really punish a grouped up team. So this is the other part of having Grimstroke, is that if you've got a 5-man pushing lineup, you'll normally have 2 people together to lock down.
I also really like that the Ice Armor could be dumped on the Centaur. He can blink in, stomp, and slow everyone around him. I think that's also quite a nice little synergy.
10 seconds left.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
The Medusa ban, do you think they've done that in preparation for if NDGR flip their strat and go kind of a 5 protect 1, let's take this late?
Yeah, that's a smart call because, you know,
Lich-
hey,
They
the
banned the
Lich ban.
anti-mage.
yeah,
So
Yes.
whether they thought a Medusa was coming out.
that's a smart choice. You're right. I mean, anti-mage is a hard one to play.
And the Lich ban. Like, good call, Chris. Nice. I like it.
I'd love to see that. I think as supports go, a Grimstroke Lich combo is a horrible combo for any 5-man strat. I don't think there's a single 5-man strat that just survives those 2 supports putting their 2 ults on them and just saying good night, sweetheart. It's over.
Yeah, it's nice.
And so instead of that, Flame and Marshmallows are going to have to come up with a different support. Shadow Shaman's still in the pool. You're right. Yeah.
They're also quite beefy on NDGR. Like the Ogre's obviously beefy. The Viper tanks up quite quickly. I get the feeling he does.
I mean, they don't seem to care about that lone druid without the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I think the Nature's Prophet made that come together very nicely last game. Yeah.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds, boss.
What about a Lycan?
Ooh, interesting. What with the bite? Turn the Viper into a wolf. just a fun fact for you.
To a smaller extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works well like the off the Nature's Prophet, right? But it's just more kind of zoo. Just a fun fact. Oh, wait a second. What's happening? Oh, the tree. It's looking more and more like they're just wanting to hold the towers, kind of chill, and pick something big bad at the end. Do you think we could see something like an Alchemist or like a Spectre? I know you said Flame Marshmallows have been playing the Spectre, but what are your thoughts?
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, they could go late game here, but it's something where
5 seconds remaining.
with the Medusa band, I'm not a huge fan of having a Spectre into this. I think they're fine. They can wait to last pick that. They can still cheese. This Viper can still go position 1. This Viper can still go off lane. They've got a lot of flexibility here. This Treant Protector and the Ogre, I expect, will be their supports.
They're very hard to kill as well.
Yeah,
they're
very
beefy.
beefy.
Tanking up. Do you think?
I'd love to see something that can.
I'd love to see a Phantom Lancer. I know it's not great with the OD Stroke of Fate, but obviously, depending on his third pick, I still think it could be so good.
Yeah.
The Ursa ban. Just wanted to maybe slow them down a bit.
Radiant's pick.
Warlock. See, that's pretty nice. So a Fatal Bonds into a Grimstroke ult is so fatal good. Most of the time.
Bye-bye, team.
Yeah, it's something where you can have double Fatal Bonds on units if there are not extra units nearby to latch onto. So Fatal Bonds will prioritize units which have not been latched. Oh, here we go. That's a great shout to purge those Fatal Bonds off. Absolutely horrible offlaner.
And another tank. You know,
and another tank.
I'd be scared to initiate on any of these heroes.
Yeah, like what do you go on here? Like, there's nothing to jump.
Oh, that at the same time, you don't really want to jump into, you're not going to have much jump. Viper is a very slow hero. He is a counter initiator. It's something where you want the enemy to walk into you and you want to walk into them. And with Centaur ult, you can always just walk away.
Yeah, again. Oh, well, there's a big whole team.
Okay, here we go. That's some catch. That's an odd pick, to be honest.
I love it.
I think that's Mr. Space's hero, isn't it? That's going to go mid.
Yeah, I agree. Just clears the waves. And I just really like the hero. I'll be interested to see if he picks up Radiance or if he goes like Armlet into like maybe Halberd or something.
5 seconds remaining.
Interesting line.
I mean, it would be interesting, but that's a horrible matchup into a Viper. Just speaking from experience, I love both those heroes, and I would not enjoy being the conqueror.
I haven't played a lot of mid, but do you think it's that bad? Because I was in my mind, it's like crit the or strike the wave and just put the torrent on it.
It's just any melee hero into a Viper. It's just something where you don't enjoy it very much. It's
fair enough.
Yeah, it's just hard. It's hard to do. You don't scare the Viper much, and you should be very scared of him.
So what are we looking for on NDGR? Do you think we're looking for a POS 1?
Yes. I think they're looking for a POS 1.
And again, for the
Flaming Marshmallows, I think they're leaving their POS 1 to last. And look, you see them banning out the Slark. That's
TB.
A very elusive hero. TB, that's a super late game carry. There's no Jug. There's no AM.
A lot.
You mentioned Morphling last game. Could he be a possibility?
Morphling's a great possibility, but let's face it, we've got legends and belows on most of the teams in these tournaments, and Morphling's quite a high skill hero. So, without being disrespectful, I think it would be hard for people to play him to his limits.
I think you can
in
be
this tournament.
Yeah,
I think that's true of all of us. You know, we're all at that MMR. I'd be very impressed if someone pulled out a really good Morphling game here.
The PL ban.
Because there's a lot of slow damage on NDGR's side. They're not going to kill you quickly. There is no burst damage on their team. And with Kunkka, with Centaur, you've got Ghost Ship. You've got a slow way to die. You know,
I want to see Flaming Marshmallows balls up and pick something awesome here, like the Morph, or like just something absolutely awesome. Just that no one expects.
They've only got 11 seconds. You know, they've been chewing through a lot of reserve time. I think this Kunkka was a poor pick. Just being judgmental here, but maybe something pulls it together.
Hate it.
That's that's a double Storm Bolt. It does synergize with the Grimstroke ult, but that makes this a mid Kunkka, which means that if I knew I was facing a mid Kunkka as a Viper, I would be laughing my way to the bank.
The issue I have with this, Sven, is is it good right now in the meta? I don't think it is, right?
I don't think it
not
is.
So much since the last patch.
Yeah, and I just think that it's. I don't know. I can't explain why I don't like it, but I just don't like it. I just don't like it.
They are very melee orientated.
With that said, though, if they all go in and then the whole of NDGR go in as well, then that the Warlock ult will just cause havoc.
Yeah. Well, it's something where that Warlock ult is nice, but it's really the Fatal Bonds that does a lot of the damage. And that Abaddon being there to purge, they seemed ready. They picked that very quickly. Very quickly indeed.
What do you think they're considering here?
I reckon Ricky.
Ooh, that doesn't sound fun for the Warlock.
I genuinely think Ricky.
I really like.
If he can get X'd.
Even so, though, like I really like that if he goes for the Battle Fury into Aghanim's Daedalus build. Like
I think you're right. I think that's a pretty horrible thing to face. At the same time, this is quite an early game team from Team NDGR. Right now, Flaming Marshmallow do have the late game. And they're taking a long time to think about this, or maybe just finalize their team talk. Maybe they're cackling, but I'll be curious to see what they come up with.
Gyrocopter
would be a good shout. You know, it's a good scaling core. Earth Spirit. Okay, they have won incredibly early game. They are doubling down on the early game.
Is the Earth Spirit playing as the one?
The Earth Spirit, I believe, will be playing as the middle. So I believe this is. They are playing with an eye to the future of the tournament. I believe that they are demonstrating that they are flexible. They're trying not to be predictable. So BDB is showing that he can play his Viper, not just mid, but in POS 1. And I believe that Hayden on the Earth Spirit will be playing mid.
Yeah,
I think they're just doing that to confuse people for future drafting phases.
Moving forward, that Viper is getting banned.
Does Kunkka versus Earth Spirit line up better for the Kunkka than it does against the Viper?
Much better. So much better for the Kunkka. Oh, it's hilariously better. 1 billion times better. It's almost as better as Earth Spirit 1 is bad. Just
Also,
speaking.
sorry, Sarah's on the Warlock, not on the.
I know. I thought I noticed that as well.
Sarah relegated from her traditional Grimstroke. Well, you know, Warlock is a simpler hero. It's a much larger AOE. Some of those earlier
backhanded insult. Such a well, Warlock is a simpler hero.
I will want to change. I want to change my mind now and say I actually really like the Sven now. I much prefer the Sven. I think it's.
I
really
think
good
this
now.
last pick, Earth Spirit, is terrible. I predict Flaming Marshmallows to turn this into a game 3. I hate them all.
Yep, it's late bedtime for all of us.
I'm sticking with my 2-0.
I'm not.
Okay.
I am on Flaming Marshmallows' side now. I almost want them to win. I'm rooting for them now.
I think if Earth Spirit struggles mid, they'll just rotate it and put Viper mid.
Let's have a look. So we've got 2 Rings of Regen. So this is an interesting choice for a Kunkka mid hero that does not traditionally struggle with regen or HP. Normally going for what we like to refer to as damage.
Sarah's gone for a normal thing of all regen and mana and no kind of starting items. Love it.
I mean, that's a good old support there. Double salve, probably being complained at by her carry, that she didn't keep him alive enough. Gert, once again, rushing in early, but not with a ward this time. Neither team being brave and actually swooping in for pre-rune spawn.
I think I would have liked NDGR to group up as 5 and just go for a quick
I
pick.
think they definitely could, but that requires balls. And I
That's
think
Are you saying this now because you're the only team to have done it so far?
yes, yes, we are.
Did it go successful, Chris, or not? Did it fail?
Yeah, it went well once, and the second time we just forced out regen.
Stick to the plan.
All right, let's see. First blood top, I suspect. Yep, right. Come on.
Sarah's going low.
Sarah's low. She should die.
Sarah's not having fun.
All right, that's 3 runes for the Dire.
Avoid the bottom lane.
All right. If this, she should heal herself now. Heal yourself now. Heal yourself.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Bottom lane's taking a lot of damage from that Viper as well.
Yeah, but they did get 3 bounty runes, so the Kunkka should be much happier. This Kunkka should be singing his praises to whatever gods that. Oh my god! And
he just missed the last hit.
Yeah, I see that. Well, this Kunkka should. That's because he doesn't remember what last hits are from the first game.
We'll put it down to that, shall we?
Fucking hell, Ben.
Straight, no fear.
Oh my god. I'm so glad I'm not playing so I don't get ridiculed like this.
This Sentai's not having a fun time, but hasn't even
No, I mean,
a
safe lane Viper is a horrible thing. BDB taking a leaf out of the tournament winners from the last year with the Trient Viper safe lane. It is an absolute bastard lane to fight into.
Brutal.
You do not like fighting into that. It is, however, a very passive lane. Like, look at the scaling of this.
Courier going down there.
With this this Earth Spirit's just been relegated to the side zone.
Oh dear. All right, he's going to roll back. Oh, he's still got caught by the cleave.
Got it, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Oh, this is a much happier Kunkka. Look at this. He's like, yeah, I can right-click creeps. I don't die.
He's dumpstering on the right hit, on the right clicks.
Yeah, there we go.
Bot
Centaur.
lane.
Centaur
Yeah,
getting no.
getting half in it.
Centaur.
But the Grimstroke in.
Oh no.
Sorin lost, claiming first blood. Absolutely brutal. And we did not miss first blood, everybody. Well done. So, fatal bonds on the creep. Well, you know, overall, lane's going a little more balanced. Obviously, a Viper Trient lane is a horrible thing to play into. Your job is not to kill it as a... Oh, this Viper should walk up and Q. He should walk up and Q. You do not...
Yep, there it is.
I would not be aggressive. This Grimstroke should be dead. This Grimstroke should be dead. Walk up to him and punch him. Yep, and he's dead. He is dead. Don't look at him. He's already dead. He's already dead. There you go.
Look at explosions.
Yeah.
The Earth Spirit mid's kind of bringing it back. Not amazingly, but he's bringing it back to 10-2, plays 11-4, so it's not the end of the world for him.
Yeah.
That Treant just hits so hard.
It does hit so hard. But, you have to remember, you should not be fighting into this with a level disadvantage.
And he's got the Orb of Venom. Oh, I love this Treant. He's just so horrible when a Treant comes running after you.
Treant has first blood gold. He's got boots coming to him. This Treant's very happy.
And a successful pull as well. Must be loving life.
He is loving life. I mean, this is not something they're going to be enjoying. This Ancient 2 player, now we do have some inside intel that certain people were complaining that an Ancient 2 player was in the tournament. Well, let's see how he's doing. Oh, he is not having fun. It's interesting. It's almost
quite
like
even.
It's almost like with good team play, you can nullify these one-to-one advantages.
I like that he's with that said, I do like that he's going double bracer. Well, if has he bought a double bracer? No, he's just bought the bottle. He's got single bracer bottle. But I feel like he's going to miss that other bracer later.
Who? The Kunkka?
No, the Earth Spirit.
I think the Earth Spirit is just a bit behind at the moment. He's had to buy a little bit of regen. He lost his courier.
I love double bracer. A Grimstroke's head in mid.
He wants to secure bottom rune.
Yeah,
that's top. Fine. And it is top. That's all right.
Radiant's middle tower is in trouble.
He was scouting.
I did look top and was laughing because Sven was right-clicking a ogre who's just stood there and took no damage. It was quite...
Yeah.
Well, these are good choices. That's a tanky Sven. This is a tanky off lane.
He's doing it to prove a point, Mims. He wants him to know that he is the alpha in the lane.
Exactly. Correct. But Gert, a little bit of a wuss. So let's see what's happening
Bottom lane, yeah, Centaur's getting...
Oh, that's a stomp that whiffs. I repeat, that is a stomp that whiffs.
It's a hard spell to hit. Kill the mana break. Says the Guardian player.
Can you imagine my commentary when you were playing?
Oh no, it was brutal. I know. I missed every time I missed an AA blast. I was like, well, that's not funny.
You had a great one, to be fair, on your around here. There was a great one. You hit 3 people with it.
Yeah, I was. I get really excited when I'm on mics and it's going well, and people are like, Murray, shut up. We don't want to hear this right now. It was excellent. I loved it. I've only recently started playing AA as well. Weird hero.
I mean, I noticed that you only play AA at present.
I played Witch Doctor in the last game. It went really badly, but I played it.
Oh, did you in the tournament? Okay.
Yeah. I played AA Witch Doctor.
Oh, I thought you played AA 3 times. That's my bad.
They made me have Witch Doctor.
Space dropping low. Train coming in as well.
Oh, this should be death. Unfortunate. But it is a hard lane. This is a hard lane. Look.
Glitch going low.
Glitch is going low. Oh, but he pushed. He walked away. He did not die for that kill. And don't worry, she heals a creep. I repeat, she heals a creep.
This is where the whole team should tip her for the tilt.
Oh, they should. But this Earth Spirit is killable.
Yeah, very much so. If a good combo with the X into the bow, double damage.
The double damage, and they're able to leave the Viper solo bottom. This is smart rotations. Smart rotations by the
also,
Radiant
the Morbid
team.
Mask coming out on Sven now.
Oh, well,
he's somewhere. Do you think he's going to go... Yeah, he's going Morbid Mask treads into Mask of Madness. What do you think's after that? Do you think it's Aghanim Scepter, or do you think he's going to go Blink Dagger?
I think with 3 strength heroes, 3 melee strength heroes, he might go Vlad.
Ooh, interesting.
I do not think the Sven is going to buy a single team item this game.
You think he's going to be greedy and be like, I am the carry, look at me.
Wow.
He is going to go, I am the carry, look at me. Oh, look, Viper.
Down to shoot down my dream spent.
I do believe that Vlad's would be a great choice, however. I suspect that the Treant might get it, or the Ogre. The Ogre would be a lovely one to have it on. Oh, can you imagine?
It just feels like such a
Oh, here we go. Let's have a look mid. Oh, and he fluffs it. He does fluff it.
He's diving for the creep waves to smack up.
What's he doing?
He's going to hit the creep wave.
He's failed.
No.
This is it. This is death.
They can't TP out because of the roll.
Yeah. This is completely death. He is fed, and he deserves this. I have no idea why he died. He deserves it. Yes, you lost. You lost.
He's thrown mid lane. That's it.
That was a big throw.
That's very suspect. I think that's just a hangover from game 1.
Hangover.
I think he was just excited. He was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna kill him! I'm gonna kill him!" And then it was like, "Nope." This Viper though in the bot lane, still having a merry time buying 4-staff first item. like it into probably mana boots.
Well, he is going 4-stuff. I wonder why he's gone 4-stuff. There's not
I think
too
it's-
much to be worried
I think
about.
it's so he can keep on top of people
Is
more than
he
anything else.
afraid of Warlock Golem or Sven chasing him?
No, I think
Yeah,
it's
you
on the
get
flip side. I think
stuff,
he wants to be chasing them. So like,
Yeah.
imagine a centaur roll, and then he just 4-stuffs towards them.
Or if you get, I'm imagining him getting X'd back, and then 4-staffing immediately before the torrent goes off.
yeah.
maybe.
I like that.
Good shout. Well, this Earth Spirit was losing mid, is now winning mid. Let's remember, children, just because one of your games goes badly, please do not dive under tier 2s and get a 3-man rotate and feed your mid laner.
He's only winning by 200 gold. Like
Yes,
the level
and
disparity is
is
similar.
well, he should be the Conquer should be winning.
Oh yeah, he should be dumpstering right now.
And he was, and that's what happens when we dive, people. Don't worry, I've done it myself. I know that feel. Go on,
Mask of Madness on the Sven, like it.
X him. X him. Walk up that high ground and X him.
I want to see him be an alpha here and try and kill this man. I would love to see
I
him.
want to see this, but
Mana.
he's being a wuss.
He
He's being
needs
a
to
wuss.
he needs to pop his
Oh, I was
arcane
close.
ring and then go to town on him.
Yeah, I agree. But he's being a wuss, and look, this Treant's coming to ward up. Very, very astute. Oh, here we go. This Viper's
Oh.
level 7. Oh, what have we got?
Bot lane, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any heroes you think we
Oh.
could make? Oh, where we?
He's dead. He's dead.
Oh, God. That's
Yeah.
that's a lot of magic damage without the ult even being used.
Level 4 poison attack. That stacks up real quick.
I mean, that's also... this is a solo Viper against these two.
Yeah,
This Viper going to town. Absolutely
he's
going
almost
to town.
double level of the Grimstroke though. Like
Yeah.
almost double.
I mean, 10-minute bounty runes coming up. Can you see a fight top over them?
I can see
don't
one in
think-
this bottom triangle with this. Say
Hmm.
a fight. The Grimstroke getting slammed, or maybe not.
No, I think the Viper's going to play a little safe. Oh, does he want this bounty? Yeah, he kind of does. He lives.
Oh, big fight top.
I see it.
Great
The
trick,
Conquer's
too.
keeping in.
Sven's down. Double stun.
Oh, that's a slow TP from the... Gets the X off, alright.
Yeah, and the bow combo. There it is. Stunning.
Alright.
And
Okay.
And the kill goes to the Conqueror.
But you'll notice that once again, Viper left on his own, walks up.
Did Centaur respawn, TP in, and die
Yes.
again?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
a bit of
Oh, no.
coincidence. Whoever lanes against the Viper dies.
It's strange. It's almost like that's a very strong hero. Almost
With
like
a
that's
good pilot.
yeah. Oh,
Fight's still going on top.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
But
alright,
this Kunka decided to go in solo. But Hayden should get TJP for this.
On
Oh,
the ball.
goes for the deny with the neutral creeps. I respect that. Does his best.
it.
Oh, are they going to dive under tower? Yes, they are.
Love it.
Oh, yes, they are. Look at this 5-man rotate while they leave the Viper solo bot.
Echo
and
Saber. Sorry. Continue.
Echo Saber for the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, interesting.
It is the only build that Hayden knows. He insists on wasting his money on it.
What would you prefer? Like Armlet? I think Armlet's probably better. Maybe.
I'd prefer Veil. I'd prefer
Yeah, I like
Yunus.
Veil. I like Veil.
Orchid. I'd prefer... Heck, he used to go straight Radiance. I'd prefer straight Radiance, Hayden.
On Earth Spirit.
Yep, out
This-
of these options, right. So look, they should get a
man's-
fight. He doesn't have mana for Golem! Oh no! And they go on the
shit.
Abaddon.
And they use the Centaur to get out. This is not. This is
Silence.
sad.
Okay, but do they get him? Do they get him?
They haven't got him yet.
Oh, the Sven, one more hit does get him. That's
Big
a nice
4-man
turn.
group.
Oh, and the Ogre's gonna tank that.
Oh,
That's nice. That is nice.
Ogre's bought back for this, and
Okay. Well,
good fight.
it's a good fight in the end. I mean, there are a lot of buybacks. I think those buybacks were unnecessary. But
Who
that
bought
is-
back? Is it just the Ogre? It's just the
I
Ogre
believe
bought
just
back,
the
right?
Ogre bought back.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
seems a little bit hasty, but this Viper is sitting pretty. But that Sven, thanks to that triple kill, says thank you very much. And you'll notice
I know
the
exactly.
Sven can farm.
I know exactly how that ogre feels. Hasty buybacks. Also, just to bring to your attention, the Kunker's going Ags. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I think an armlet would be great, something like that. Just something in between now and Ags.
I'd like a halberd. Or like a Sanjin Yasha for the stats resistant.
I like the halberd. Just use it on Viper and then have your team fight around that.
Yeah, or the Aber to stop him hitting people. I just really like halberd.
Yeah, it's a good shout. It's a very good shout. I personally would like an armlet. I think it's just great value for money. The cleave damage.
Yeah,
what are you
maybe.
About?
It's a 5-minute delay. Someone just went. She just healed a creep.
I'm also a little bit concerned that Sarah has spent the last 4 minutes without mana for her ult. I repeat, Sarah, buy a fucking clarity.
She's almost at mana boots. Why would she waste money on it?
Oh, she picked up a clarity now.
Why would she waste money on a clarity when she's also?
God, this Warlock Golem being up and not used tilts me to no end.
See, if she hadn't bought that clarity, she'd
she's had the clarity cancelled by the tree. Right. Oh, and there's a Viper. Right.
Still doesn't have mana for it. She still doesn't have mana for it. I know she's
dead.
Oh,
they have wasted ults. Oh, but that's good. That's a double fatal bond. That is a double fatal bond. Oh, but there are 5 heroes. There are 5 heroes.
Oh, Sarah does have buyback available. TP not available, so it is difficult.
I don't think it's worth. That's a good fight for them.
Spirit is just going to town. He's out. He's loving life right now.
He is a good hero.
He's a nice TP out from Grimstroke, I must admit.
He's out of stones, so he's out of stones, but doesn't matter.
So the Viper turns up to the team fight, and that's the 3k net worth advantage. Oof.
Viper's going mech as well.
Can you imagine if they'd have a Warlock Golem in that fight? Anyway,
I see no difference with the Warlock Warman.
A Warlock Golem.
It looks like the game's restarting as the whole Dire team is leaving the base by foot.
That's so. I find that a bit. That's so rude.
I don't care. Do you know how rude people were to me when I was playing?
I know.
I could just imagine. I don't know.
They didn't actually notice you, which is perhaps even worse.
Even worse. Again, just to bring your items' attention. Sven, Aghanim's, love it. Superman, we're going to see it, hopefully.
I don't know. I reckon the game will be over before he gets it.
I don't. I have faith that he's going to get it, turn up to a team fight, and absolutely butcher them. I hope.
Yeah, but he's got a team fight. I think
there it is.
Oh, here we go.
There it is. Fatal Bonds, goal at woman, run away. Lovely.
Well, did he X anything? He did not X anything. Oh, well, they could have got a guaranteed kill. They could have got a guaranteed kill had he learned how to press the X marks the spot.
They literally walked up this thing, regrouped here, and now are ready to go back.
Yep.
Love it.
Look at this Viper. He's saying, hey, what was that build I went last time? Oh, yeah, auras. Oh.
There you guys. Look at that samurai. He wants blood, but it's just going to be...
he just wants the feed. Yep, here we go.
200 gold to the Viper.
100 gold.
Oh, is it 100? Okay.
I lose track, actually. It's a significant chunk.
100.
Golem bounty.
Dire structures are fortified.
The Centaur looks so poor. Like hood, boots, like just working towards his phase boots.
Well, you know, they've done a good job. Oh, he gets the deny. Oh, that's commendable. Absolutely commendable. But you're
MVP right there.
3, 2. Oh. No, it was a very nice TP out from the Kunkka.
So, why do you think he's gone? Why do you think the Kunkka's going Ags? Is it just for that team fight to kind of just break it up? Well, obviously, they're quite team fight heavy as it is.
I think they want to win the team fights. They know that they're going to get 5-man. They just want to contend with that 5-man. So this Sven does not want to fight. And I don't know why.
I think Sven might need. Sven TP top, farm the jungle. Have fun.
Well, I think they want to take this fight. All right, that's not
a good start to this fight.
That is a poor start to this fight. The Grimstroke walked up, so he could also die.
Here comes the tree, magnetizes out, down they fall. The boat, though, the boat. Oh,
Instead of getting the double stun off, I mean, there's a lot of failing going on here.
And now they take the tier 2.
Yeah, that was a pretty poorly executed fight. The Grimstroke walking up to die with his buddy. That's a poorly executed fight. Honestly, this Flaming Marshmallows team.
I would love them to get over to the outpost pre 20 minutes. I just think that gives them such a boost into the next 10-15 minutes of the game. Maybe the Earth Spirit rolls over for it, but we'll see. We'll see.
Top tower just got denied.
Well, here they go. They reset. They go, right, we've taken that lane. On to the next lane. So Earth Spirit's taking top. You know, they've got the top 2 net worths. That Sven's keeping up pretty well. Managed not to die.
Yeah, but you don't want the Sven to be keeping up pretty well. You want him to be 10k net worth right now, right? You want him to be ahead of everyone.
Do you feel like NGDR's momentum came from that Conquer dive in a tier 1?
I think it all came from that Conquer dive in that tier 1. I think that Conquer should be ashamed of himself. There you go.
I think it almost gave him another confidence boost. So it's like, yeah, these guys will overextend once in a while, and we will punish them for it. It's nice. The poor Ogre, though. Literally, brown boots, windlace, 1 TP in, what's it called? So poor.
I mean, that's the thing. You don't care if you're poor if your team wins. My walking
100%.
bloodlust. 100%. Oh, I take it back. My boy with the 1 level in bloodlust, the max ignite. All right, we're going to talk about this. Sarah walks up onto a high ground and dies.
Gets stunned. No ultimate.
I know it looks like she's alive, but she's dead. I repeat, she is dead. It looks like she is alive, but I repeat, she is dead.
There's potential here for a big magnetize.
There is potential for a big fight. That is a silenced. Oh, there's no tree and ult. No tree and ult.
Got pop, yeah. And then the magnetize came in, the stun onto the centaur. Centaur stuns back and prepares to fight, but he's gonna fall.
Oh no.
I think the net worth lead is just too big. That was a good fight.
Nice kick. 5-man wipe, yikes. With the Viper getting a triple kill. Think they're going to take the mid tower here? Yeah.
No need to walk back at all. Just they're 5-man. They're 5-man walking at them. See what you got.
Was the...
So
Abba was a support, wasn't he? Yeah, he's bought Echo Saber Blade Mail. This is one rich support.
Yeah. No, Abba was the offlaner. Abba was the offlaner.
Oh, of course he was. Yeah, no, I'm wrong. Yeah, Abba was off lane. Yes, you are right.
So, how do you see Flaming Marshmallows getting back into this?
I mean, they've got big ults. They've got big ults. I would really love to see them just execute it with the Grimstroke ult into the Fatal Bonds, into the double Sven stun. So far, at best, we've had 2 out of 3 happen. You know,
I would really like to see... maybe it's too ballsy and maybe it's not the right thing. I'd like to see them smoke. I'd like to see them smoke, go for a pick-off, try and claim back some of this map, and then from there start to get some momentum and feel good as a team again. It feels like they're a bit down on their laurels, to say. They're kind of trailing along and not... I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know.
Perhaps. I mean, I think the challenge is they don't split push fast enough. Now, on the other hand, if they can hold high ground, I do think NDGR win, but they are missing 2 heroes as this fight looks to be breaking out soon.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, do they fight this? Do they let it drop? Like, obviously, they've already lost their outpost.
No,
they
I think they'll leave this.
hold the high ground.
Dire's lost their top tower.
Treant's got the meteor hammer again. We love to see it.
Yeah.
Misses creep though with the meme hammer. That's not impressive at all. Maybe into Roche. Yeah, into Roche they go.
Yeah, here they go into Roche. Now, if they had that Vlad's that you talked about earlier, this would be a great game. Instead, no Vlad's. Nice and slow, boys. Nice and slow.
I like that the Earth Spirit sat outside the pit, ready to roll in and do whatever he wants from the outside instead of being in the midst of it. Here they come, though. They know. They know.
I mean, this Ogre's going to tank this gank. Oh, he scared them. He scared them, and they're going to get Roche for that. They're just going to get Roche. Look, they're scared of this Ogre.
Nope, they're going for him, but that's it. He's not even dead. Like, Roshan's fall, they get to come up the cliff, and now they get to
a massive overgrowth.
Roll, and the Magnetize is there with the silence.
Magnetize. That is a great golem. That is a great golem into a great... That is... I told you this team fight was massive. This is a
Sven's
massive
still
team
alive.
fight.
Oh, Sven's down.
Sven's down, but that is a great team fight from a losing position.
Yeah,
That
but
is
the
a-
witch has fallen. Yeah,
That-
I agree. I think you're right there, Chris.
I think that's probably the best they can hope for. That was a really good fight. It just took. They were a little bit puss. Best way I can describe it. They
Yeah.
were a little bit of a wuss about killing that ogre. If they'd killed that ogre
They did.
before,
Ogre pulled back.
but before the treant had a chance to walk up,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I
because-
would have liked them to. Yeah, I agree. I think I would like to see them come right up to this edge here, so they have the high ground. While the ogre stood up here, he can still see everything.
I know.
Well-
So the ogre scared them off. The ogre did his job, and this sentry ward just stopped them. They would have seen that treant walking up in invis, so they had no
Yeah.
excuse. They knew what was about to happen.
Reported. Yikes. I hope
How's
that's all
Frogar
said.
talking? I type stuff and you can't see it.
I hope that's all said in jest. I hope he doesn't mean that.
What?
Reported.
Oh,
Mims is saying reported.
All right. All right, casters, behave yourselves. But yes, that was actually a good fight. The Sven got his Ags from that. I don't think Ags was the right choice.
I like
think,
I
it.
agree.
I like it.
I think if he'd gone like S and Y for his 4K,
I
he'd
have a-
be in a lot better
have
position.
a
Just
question.
because, yeah, go on.
So, how does it now work? How does Stormhammer now work with the Grimstroke ultimate?
So he'll
Does it-
transport to the first target, and the second target will just get punched in the face with a storm hammer.
So yeah, okay. So it's still. I thought it was gonna like Superman to one hero, then to the next hero.
No, that would be funny, but yeah. But yeah, the Sven's doing all right. But you know, these fights are just not quite where they need to be. They need to delete this Viper before he can get his Greaves off, before he can pump out his spells.
This Viper's brutal in both
This
games.
Viper is brutal.
So good.
I mean, it's true. It's true. It's a powerful, powerful hero.
I almost feel like this has just been put on the list to ban straight against the first ban on NGGR.
I think that's what they want.
Yeah.
You know, I think they want you to first ban this hero, and I'll just be curious to see how it goes.
Let's see what people do to get round it. I'd like to see if people go for the leaner, as you said, in the drafting phase, or if they kind of just man up and pick their safe heroes against it, if it does get through and get picked, obviously.
I mean, I've played Viper into a lot of matchups. There are still ones which are very annoying for him. Playing into a Treant Viper lane is a very hard lane to play into, absolutely. But the Viper was also able to play relatively safe against an off-lane Grimstroke. I'd have preferred this Grimstroke POS 5 and a more aggressive POS 4 instead of a very defensive Warlock. But to be said, I think the safe lane went all right, but I'd put a lot of responsibility on the shoulders of the mid laner here. You know,
Well,
that
the
dive.
Kunka dive. Yeah, the
that
Kunka dive.
dive.
I also, he's going BKB next. I feel like they almost lack damage. Is that? I don't know if that's right to say. 'cause
You know
it's
what?
Sven.
They don't actually lack too much damage. They should look to enable this Sven as much as possible, and they are doing that. In that last team fight, you saw even with the Sven at a third HP,
He was still smacking
ruined.
people.
Right, this
Yeah.
good guy should be X and torrented right here. Where's the Kunka? The Kunka is just torrented without
It's
X.
torrented.
Okay, never do that, people. Never do that. X.
Here we go. Here we go.
Nope.
Done.
Stun. Losing health. Losing health. Losing health.
There's
Running away. Running
missed.
away.
He's on,
Running away. Dead.
on the Viper, and the Sven is now
Yeah.
stunned up, kited, and dead.
Dead. Yeah, and that's game. Well, that's what happens. First hit bash was fortunate, but
Sven's got buyback. Don't call it. Yeah, I want to see a hero. I want to see Superman come back into this team wipe 'em. I'm gonna call it now. Here we go.
this game is done. This game's been done for all of 5 minutes. There's lots of fighting.
Always root for the underdog. Come on, guys, buy back and don't be puss. Get in there.
I mean, they've got Warlock ult up. You know, it'll be interesting to see what they do. But
If Warlock, I think they've got one fight left in them, and if everything comes up trumps, they can still maybe claw themselves back into another 5 minutes of this game.
I mean, if they do win a team fight, that's only going to swing back, what, 5k gold?
yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
true. I mean, they're just gonna walk out.
I didn't realize it was 18k net worth deficit.
Well, it's these team fights. I mean, if this Kunka could X someone, they have no blink initiation, bro. Just X someone. Just
Yeah,
see
this
what happens.
Centaur
Just do
just
it.
feels so poor.
Right, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Now they have
ultimate.
overstayed their
There
welcome.
we
This
go.
was really poor by Radiant. They have completely overstayed their welcome.
Turn it. Get
One
something.
drops.
Stun. Sven without his ult just feels like he
Earth
doesn't
Spirit
hit
is
for anything.
deleting people. Oh, Sven's saving the centaur there.
Sven just doesn't feel like he even hits someone without his ult.
Yep, that is true. That is how it feels. I mean,
And the Grim's dead as well.
the Grim is dead as well. There you go. 10-0 and 17 Viper. This is what happens when you let a Viper safe lane go and you walk into it repeatedly with a Centaur. This is this is when we abandon the offlane people instead of feeding it.
I'm very interested. This Earth Spirit, I'm probably going to come back and watch this game and just watch the Earth Spirit perspective. Awesome. Loved it.
Great work. You know, came back from a rough laning phase. Very commendable, actually.
Well, given his comeback, right? Like when he came back and they dived, but
I mean,
can't talk about throws.
I mean, there are some throws, but these teams have been very consistent. You know, they've had some rough fights, but they maintained their lead. They just keep on zerging forward like a 5-man unit. Look, this Abaddon is rushing his way, trying to get to that bottom lane as quickly as possible.
I like that Marshmallows haven't tapped out. I really like that. I like it when teams don't tap out. Oh, X, here we go.
All right,
He's
let's
just going to
see. X into nothing.
He's just going
X
to
into
stand there and be
nothing.
like, okay, guys.
And he has a BKB now. Right, this Viper wants to end this game.
Yeah, boring King Bar to end the game. Why no Rapier? That's what I want to see. What do they do? Like the center can barely get in there because of the wrong Atos.
Yep.
Big magnetize there.
There's
BKB
a
on the
big
Earth Spirit as well.
magnetize. Yep,
Just
this is a
everyone's
rough
so
fight.
low. Like, oh,
This
they
is
roll
a-
straight onto the Sven. He's dead. Kunker's down on the sidelines to the Abba, and the Viper continues to hit the
Oh, but the
building.
Centaur gets a return kill. That's it, boys. GG. He knows.
Kills the captain, and they tap out. Got him.
Yeah.
He even shouts for the got him.
Yeah, he knows what he wanted. Well, this game looks well and truly over, boys.
Well done, Mims, calling the 2-0 stomp. Well
Good
done, man.
shout, Mims. Well done. You know, I thought they had more luck here. I think it was a great ban on the Lich. You know, can you imagine double Lich ults into these fights?
I mean,
that would.
Yeah, I do agree with you guys though. I think Dire had the team. They had the draft. They had spells.
It was better than game
I
one.
just don't think they synergized.
I think I think they could have definitely won this game. Definitely. It was just as you used to both said, that dive mid, and then just I can't. Yeah. Big ult. Here we go. Ult on 2.
Yeah.
Hero call in onto the.
I mean, that is a 3.3k HP Earth Spirit. He does not give a fuck.
Has Earth Spirit got one of the has he got the highest strength multiplier in the game or something?
I don't know, actually.
I think he's up there. I think.
Oh, the fountain's dead.
Yeah,
There we
GG. There
go.
it is.
GG. Well played, everyone. Well, that's a nice, quick game for us. Yeah, some of us have work in the morning.
So to get up at 4 in the morning. But yeah, that was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me. It's been
Oh, well, that was
fun.
great. I really appreciate you guys keeping me company. I'm sorry I've talked over a lot of this. I have strong feelings when people disappoint me, even on other teams.
06 Warlock, 4k net worth.
Oh,
I think this was a rough game. I think Flaming Marshmallows were maybe a little cocky in game one. They were really caught by surprise with that, this push strat. And in game 2, it wasn't push heroes, but it was still a push strat. You know, it's something where they played it very well, very solid, and a good 5-man Dota, hard to pick apart, hard to deal with, very strong.
I think this Void might have taken a bit of a hit to his pride, if to say. Like, I know it was a very rough lane for him, but 1-9, so the highest player in the tournament.
Yeah.
Getting dumpstered both games.
Getting dumpstered. Well, he played well on the Pudge.
He did.
But I think, if he could have played a Centaur in the first game, he'd have done a lot better. You saw how that lane went. Against the Lone Druid, that was a lot easier for him to deal with. Whereas against the Viper, he got nothing, and he paid.
do you think it might have been worthwhile giving him a more kind of carrying hero, like a brewmaster, a timber saw, something that could really? I know that Timber was a bad pick, but
I think Timber would be fine against anything but a Viper.
I agree.
That Viper, they should either have drafted to avoid it, pick something like a Weaver, Pango, just something with an escape, something with a way to dodge away from it in the lane. It's a hard lane, but you can just keep your XP up, farm the jungle. You could pick Enigma, try to deal with that.
Yeah.
It's something where.
I'm struggling to think of a time that NGDR, after maybe the first 10 to 13 laning phase minutes, when they weren't a 5 or a 4.
Yeah, they were always together, always wanting to fight. It's kind of what we spoke about before. We said, obviously, I want to see 5v5 non-stop fighting, and NDGR gave us that. They just wanted to fight all the time and just outplay. I loved it. I thought it was really nice that they just went into that, and especially in this last one, their draft is so. Imagine if it gets to 40 minutes, it just kind of falls off. Obviously, they've still got the farm and stuff, but I really like they committed to what they were doing.
Yeah, I was expecting fully a Viper mid, a long, a safe lane carry that would scale, go later, and they didn't go for it. They were brave. They picked the Earth Spirit into it. And he took the bull by the horns, honestly. So if I was going to ask you for your MVP for the series, who'd you give it to?
Ooh.
For me, it would be the Nature's Prophet Ogre.
Nature's Prophet Ogre. Okay. Reasons. I mean, I'm very in favor of the split push in game 1. Game 2, you just think he was consistent?
I think it.
Oh, and that Roche fight when he just stood at the top.
When he went up and baited them and delayed them, I'm always going to be a bit biased towards supports, but I think a solid support it makes your carries look so much more better.
Yeah,
because they have the time, they have the space, they have the initiation, they have some. I think an Ogre was a solid pick for me in the second game.
Okay.
And he made so much space in the first game that they just couldn't.
I loved you. You all know how much I love that Nature's Prophet. I just thought it was mint, but I don't know if I can give it to anyone. Both games they play in 5-mans, right? So it was very just the team was well coordinated. Okay. Yeah. If I had to give someone on Flaming Marshmallows, I think what did they play last game? That's bad. I can't remember. I know the Kunker dove, but he hit some good boats. He did hit some good boats.
Yeah. All right. So you think, if you were going to give it to someone on Flaming Marshmallows, you'd have given it to the Kunker in game 2. But it's hard to pick it out. Like you say, a strong team performance. I think it was good lineup, well played. I think the Viper obviously did very well in game 1, dumpstering the puck. Very nicely done.
Yeah. Sorry. Continue, Chris.
No, go for it, Mark.
I was going to say I wanted to give it. I really wanted to say MVP to Viper, but as you say, Joe, it just dumpsters lanes and kind of always looks good. Like unless it gets beaten hard, I just feel like it always looks good. So that's why I think Mims has hit it on the head. I think the Nature's Prophet and the Ogre. That Ogre, I forgot about where he stood on the cliff and delayed it. I think that was really, really nice.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. So I'm going to pull us back in the lobby. I'm going to see if we can get anyone to come interview. Hello.
All
right. 1 second. Let me go invade.
Interesting games.
What was your takes on the game, Greenbeat?
I think they should have banned Viper in the second game outright. I don't know why they'd let him go again.
I totally agree.
Like, why? I mean, Viper killed Puck mid, and they just gave it to him again.
Killed. Absolutely dumpstered. I'm not giving the Puck player a hard time. Like, that's a rough lane to fight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was...
It was just
not a good matchup.
The items that the Viper bought, like the aura items, it just provided so much for the team that it was almost... it was like the thing that held everything together. I felt in the first game, and maybe even into the second game as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's your opinion, Green Bean? What's your opinion on the Lone Druid?
He could have done well, but Lena was definitely pressuring the bear at the beginning, causing like him having to like continually respawn the bear to get it health or TP it back.
I agree. There
And
was
then
a point. There was a point right early on the start where it got LSA'd and then Dragon Slaved, and it just had to walk back to base.
yeah,
And I thought that was quite a pain.
yeah, and then he never had the chance too much to push lanes with the bear either. So
Tragic,
Right.
tragic game.
Yeah, the Nature's Prophet. We were saying in our stream, the Nature's Prophet was just awesome, absolute mint.
Yeah, he played well.
I don't remember anything I said. My
Uh,
brain's completely empty.
I'm saying he played well, but he I think his micro needs some work.
What on the Natures or on the
Yeah, Prophet, yeah.
You were right about like him. Like once he seems set on ratting,
Yeah,
he just kind of did. Yeah, he could have been a little bit more patient. That's purely just from a cleaning up gameplay point of view, right? Because we saw him kind of TP bomb and then just hard feed, right? TP bomb top even, TP top, yeah.
Seemed really hard focused on using his Sprout treants to rat. Like I don't think I saw him use Sprout offensively.
Cool.
Once that game, so.
All right, so
we were praising it the whole time.
We're going to get what are we going to do? We did see him sprout offensively when, for the third time in a row, BDB got hooked under tower because he seemed to forget that the Pudge was just coming mid repeatedly. But then he brought a friend and he had a Nature's Prophet and they won. We're going to have Henrik. So we can ask him how he feels to be the highest MMR player in the tournament. Did he feel like he carried his team?
Void?
Yes, Void.
Okay.
As you know, Rogar, playing into a safe lane Viper is yes.
I didn't even do it.
All right. Hello, Henrik. So we're going to do a little bit of a structured interview. We'll just do this after all the games.
Yeah,
so
man.
I'm going to bring you guys in first, just a representative from the losing team. Then we'll bring in the winning team.
Gotcha.
Are you all right with that?
Yeah, man. Sounds good. Just walk me through it since it's the first time.
Yeah, no problem. So you've got a couple of casting streams here. So we're just going to take turns to ask you questions, just sort of how you felt. So I'll just kick it off.
Sick.
Is there anything in, let's start with the draft for either games where you felt like, oh, we should have taken something or banned something?
I think to us, I guess for me personally, there's a lot of people in the opposing team, I guess, that is really new players to me, and I don't fully know how they play, I guess. We've been having some struggles on our sides, basically, to get people together to practice, I guess, as well. But I think maybe in the aftermath, we were really scared of the Prophet in the first game. I think that was probably what really made us struggle in a sense. But I think when it came to the picking and banning phase, I think we were actually still quite all right with the way we picked. We did a lot of comfort heroes, and I think generally we had a pretty good structure of how the game worked. We just got a bit sidetracked a few times.
Sure. Okay. And yeah, we definitely saw an adjustment from game 1 to game 2 in the way you drafted. So it was definitely, I think all the casters agreed that in game 2 it looked like you're much better equipped to deal with their strategy. It just didn't quite work out. I think that Viper got a bit too big, a little too fast, unfortunately.
Yeah. For game, we all agree that the first game we thought was pretty fine. We had obviously a few mistakes. to mention just a few, we had Sarah get caught with one point top lane when they were pushing both for the first and the second tower. We were honestly planning to try and re-engage for the second tower and like not leave for like a double free tower in a sense.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, she missed the axe coming from the side and got caught, and that's kind of threw us off track, and they started snowballing a bit on that, I guess. But like the main issue, I still think, is like partly that we made the wrong call. We shouldn't have like continued fighting the Roshan at that point. It would have been better to just leave that, because letting the Prophet push in bottom lane to get the racks against like a rat team is kind of a suicide mission. We can still deal with like a proper fight from high ground, but just like leaving them the free bot racks was kind of like awful. But I think the main issue still is like we were stronger than they were early on mid game, and we should have just capitalized on that and tried to like roam around and get some kills instead.
Sure. All right. Can I invite Aaron? You got any questions?
No, come back to me. My brain is fried.
Cool. Bean, do you want to chime in? I hear you.
Did you have just like Chris doing the calls, Henrik, or was there a lot of like miscommunications? Because I noticed in both matches when you went into team fights, you guys were kind of spread out, not targeting the same people, kind of targeting different, and kind of their team would
I get what you're saying.
that, and they would get like in the first game, right? Pudge, you would be going on someone, but your team would just like kind of walk away and target someone else, and their team would loop around and just murder the Pudge first. And there wasn't there wasn't like a sense of direction, it seemed, just watching both games with your team spreading out a little bit too much.
The thing
I
is,
don't know if
like,
you felt that way though.
We definitely felt that the second game. I was trying to get to that like last speaking, but like we felt like the first game was all right. We had some pretty good structuring, although like we were like specifically the fight at Roshan in the first game, we were very like conflicted which direction we wanted. We had two different calls, and it kind of made everybody a bit wary on what to do. In terms of like the kills and like the catches and stuff, I think we're pretty okay. The main issue is literally just that we basically gave them a Rax, and that basically opened up the whole map and the game for the Prophet to do whatever he liked. And from there, they just shipped down our base. The second game was, to us, it was basically just chaos. We felt like we had a really good like thought process behind like the way we drafted and stuff, but it was really hard to try and get like stuff going, seeing as I got like wrecked by their Viper. Good on him, by the way, I guess. But also since Chris and Sven and stuff had like so many issues top, it was really hard to like come back from such a team that is all about that like team fight controlling and early just like going in for the team fights and trying to push it back in a sense. But yeah, the shot calling was it was a bit troublesome in the second game, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, definitely something that you guys can practice a bit more. Still early days. There's no elimination in this tournament. It's still round robin.
Sick.
Your next opponents are Tom Nook's Bellend. They had some very back and forth series, so I'm sure you guys will have some exciting Dota there.
Sounds great, man.
Yeah. Mims, anything that you'd like to ask?
I was going to ask the same question as Bean, but I'm gonna change it a little bit. In the second game, when you see your Kunker diving past a tier 1, was that a call from the team to go and try and get the kill, or was that something that he felt he could get? I don't want you to speak on behalf of him if you feel like it's going to be bad, but what was your reaction to
I think that was pretty much like the epiphany of like how like our game actually kind of went from our perspective. It was kind of like everybody was haywire, and we didn't really have any like control of our own team, I think, and that was like the main issue we lost that game, I think. Partly for like, but to be honest, like the opposing team was really good. They really controlled us back. But I think that like what you're speaking of, Mims, is basically kind of like we just didn't really have control as a team. We were all like running around doing our own shit in a sense.
Okay, cool.
Also, I'm curious. Sarah not playing the Grimstroke. She played that a lot in the last tournament. She's maybe not as comfortable on it nowadays, or just something that TJP prefers to play these days.
I think it's more the fact that Sarah is more comfortable playing like on the safe lane. We were really conflicted which person we wanted on that specific lane or something.
Yeah.
We ended up going with. Apparently, Chris wants me to throw him under the bus. He's the worst player. We all know this. Okay, it's fine. But like we were really unsure who we wanted to pick, even like down to the last like few seconds when we were about to pick our own heroes after we like drafted.
So you got down to about 11 seconds reserve time.
But we decided to go with the Grimstroke there because Sarah just hadn't practiced it like that much lately. So we decided to go with Tom that's been playing us a bit lately.
Sure. And I noticed it looked like a very astute ban from their team to ban out the Lich. I think a Lich Grimstroke support combo for you guys would have been excellent, would have shut down their 5-man. Was that something you were looking to get?
I mean, we were considering it. We were also thinking that like the Lich might be somewhat of a squishy hero without like a proper stun. Obviously, he has like a pretty good like channeling stun, which is obviously helps a lot, and it also breaks apart a good team fight with all the melees they had in their team. So yeah, you could say it's like something we were looking into. It's probably not like our main priority hero, but it was definitely something like, especially in hindsight, we should have probably tried to pick up earlier.
Sure. Aaron, are you feeling ready to ask a question?
I think my main one, like if I think of the second game, is there a reason you guys wanted a Sven so badly? Because like I think in the draft I was saying like you had an option, you had like a lot of the enemy lineup in front of you, but the Sven didn't really address, like it wasn't a good pick. Like, was that just a comfort pick from your team?
Honestly, we had a few minor options. I'm not gonna disclose everything, obviously.
Yeah, no, that's
fine. To make it easier, can you like suggest something that was in your head so Henrik can just answer that?
So for me, it's like a Sven does the same thing, right? He'll be being a run with God Strength, and he'll just pick a hero. But at that point, your enemy has a Viper and a Treant, which are just a nightmare in general for any hero.
Well, let's put it like this. Personally, I wasn't like majorly fond of the idea with Sven.
Okay, cool.
We had a few other options, but they didn't in all fairness, they didn't really feel that great either.
Okay.
And so we basically picked between a few comfort picks to try and like solidify the team in a sense. It's basically like, for example, we were considering Wraith King for a bit, but it's kind of the same issue with him as it is with Sven. But at least Sven has the option of getting like an Axe later, even though maybe we got it a bit too fast this game instead of like a BKB. But yeah, it's kind of like, I guess we wanted to make sure in a sense that we wouldn't get rushed at like last game. That said, though, we still didn't have any like they didn't really have any push lineups back like still in their team, considering it was the last pick. But I think it was mostly like due to comfort picks in a sense.
Yeah, I see. Wait, sorry, 1 second.
So
okay. Go for it.
I have questions about your carries fucking itemization, man.
Hrog.
I know I'm throwing stones and glass houses here, but like, what was that first item on lifesteal? First item halberd.
Space halberd.
That's what was that targeted at? Like, who was that supposed to shut down?
To be fair, I think we still have some stuff like to go through with the team as well in terms of like proper teamwork in terms of like itemization as well. I think we were a bit scared of, like, for example, I think Chris was a bit scared of the bear in a sense, even though I felt like personally I had like really good control of the bear. And we, at least after the game, in hindsight, we were all like super sure that like the only real issue we had with their team was the Prophet after we opened up the Rex. So I can't really speak for why we got Halberd, but I guess he wanted to make sure that he could stay alive alongside me as a Pudge, since Pudge can be so squishy in the early stages.
fair enough.
Mhm.
Second game, also, I guess it's the same answer, but I was equally confused by the Ags rush.
Yeah, that's also something Chris basically screamed out the second we lost the game, is that he should have probably went BKB first.
Or damage or
something like damage, because we were lacking damage for sure. But at the same time, you could also I guess you can also think of the idea that me as a centaur, even though I was super behind, not gonna lie, I didn't do very well job this game. I basically got blown up right away, and it's gonna be really hard for Chris to try and get back into the fight after that.
No, that Viper was fucking like massacring you guys in lane.
I think the main issue bot lane with the Viper is that the tree was really good at zoning us for sure. He did a really good job. But I think the main issue is that Tom got caught, Grimstruck got caught a few times early on, and they kind of just got the lane advantage, and it was gonna XP advantage. It was really hard to get back from a treant that is zoning you at that stage. And with all the slows, before we could even get the boots, it was just really hard getting to to the experience of even being close. And I think that was the main issue. That said, I played awfully, and I think the tree did a really good job. He really owned that lane.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was well played by them for sure. I do wanted to extend some compliments to your Pudge in the first game. You did a shit ton of work on that hero.
Thank you, sir. I do like to reel in them bitches, yo.
Yeah, man. I respect it. It's fun to watch.
All right. Okay,
Cheers.
I'm going to ask one more question. So, Murray, you haven't had a chance to ask a question. Is there anything you'd like to ask Henrik?
Yeah, I'm just going back, obviously, to that kind of Roshan fight where you were kind of dipping your toe in, and then obviously the Nature's Prophet was blocked. So do you think that it would be better for everyone to back and defend the rack spot, or because we were saying in the stream, we felt like you should have just committed into the Roshan pit and just tried to get that and then done it? I don't know which was right, but
honestly, I think my call almost from the start, but we were very conflicted in the middle of that fight, and that's kind of why we got so disrupted and the fight was so messy for us. Is that we had two different calls. One was basically to stop Prophet from pushing, and the other one was to kill the Roche. Personally, and in hindsight, I think we all actually agree that we should have just let them have the Aegis, because just I did like you just said, a lot of work on the Pudge. We were not worried about the Lone Druid. I kind of owned him every single time he appeared. The Bear was not an issue. We could lock down the Lone Druid. We could stop basically everybody else. So in a straight up fight, we would probably win that fight, and that's also why I'm a bit sad we didn't manage to stop Axe catching Sarah early on, before that fight, because we could have probably had a really good turnaround by the second tower. So personally, in the hindsight, and I think most of my team agrees, is that we should have probably just skipped the Roche and let them go high ground, and then we could probably just control the fight back on them.
Yeah, fight it at the high ground instead of the pit. Yeah, okay. I agree.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Henrik. So I'm going to invite the other team in. You're welcome to stick around, but if I'll just ask if you'll mute yourself,
for sure,
so I can drag them in.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Day. And we got Ben as well. Perfect.
Yeah, guys.
All right. So, the way it's going to work, we've already had the losers interview. We're just going to take turns asking you guys some questions. So, first of all, congratulations. Well done for winning your first series.
Thank you.
We'll sort of go through the casters one by one. They'll each ask you at least one question. In Hrogar's case, multiple questions. And
go fuck yourself.
See, look at this. Look at what I'm working with here.
He unmuted himself just to say that.
Yeah. Unmuted himself, dragged the vape out of his mouth, and just spewed, gushing himself.
Spilling my secrets.
So first things first. Was there anything that you in terms of your draft in game 1, game 2, was there anything that you really wished that you'd banned or that you'd picked, or were you just really happy with your drafts and what you sort of forced the opponents into picking, or was there anything you really didn't like in terms of the opponent draft?
I feel like with the draft, it went quite well because we felt like they were trying to counter us both times. So we were leading the draft and they were reacting to it. So we were quite happy with that.
It felt very much like the draft. Their draft in the second game was geared a lot towards not wanting to lose the lanes rather than playing heroes playing to win. I don't know. That's how it felt to me.
Yeah, they were trying to not lose rather than to win, is what it felt like, and that's never a good way to play. That's just how we felt from looking at it from our team.
Okay, understand.
Okay.
Great, and of course, respect bans for Nature's Prophet in game 2. So Day must be very happy, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it was 18,000 building damage. I just I just went and hit some buildings, man. I love it. It's great, creative, engaging Dota to watch. I think for me, I'm not sure for anyone else.
I said I love this so many times throughout the whole thing. I was like, I love this. Nature's Prophet, I love it.
Like we just mentioned to Henrik that Roshan fight where they couldn't. It looked from our perspective they didn't know. They hesitated. Do we go deal with this Nature's Prophet that's pushing our bottom barracks, or do we go deal with Roshan? And it was so torn. It was just.
Yeah, speaking generally about Prophet as a hero, his strength is forcing people to make snap decisions about whether it's worth losing. Yeah, no, I'm not. I just think that Prophet as a hero forces people into difficult situations.
You're forced to make a choice.
Yeah, and that choice has to be made quickly,
Yeah, understandable. Go on, Mix.
So, with that in mind, was your I don't want you to give anything away, but was your first? You're looking at your first draft. It was very much pushed towards that split pushing lanes tactic.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you aim to do before looking at the heroes they picked, or was that something that you looked at the heroes that were banned and go, right, we're going to go for this sort of draft?
We definitely went into the first game with an idea of what we were going to play.
Yeah, and I would say that
the only pick. I mean, not the only pick, but yeah, it was we kind of knew what we wanted to go into that first game, especially like with what we wanted. That's why we opened with the Druid.
We had and I think that we've been really happy with it. But one of our stacks suggested Silencer as the 5th pick, and it's pretty unusual to have the +5 as your 5th pick. But we were happy with that pick. That tied us all together very nicely.
Position 5, pick number 5. It makes sense.
yeah, exactly.
Thanks. Hrogar, do you actually have a question to go with your rather inane comment?
I am using my brain to scrounge for questions, so leave me alone.
Aaron, is there anything that you'd like to ask the winning team?
Did you have a different hero in mind if they did ban out the Viper?
We had a different strategy in mind.
Yeah, different strat. Oh, that's good to know.
I don't think we'd say even if we did.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, I enjoyed some clean play.
I mean, they picked the Centaur, and we were.
I don't know about the 4-staff. The 4-staff on the Viper. That's kind of weird.
It was kind of so that I could keep up with them when they ulted, or get away when they ulted.
That's what I said. I said it was to keep up with people so you could chase them down. Thank you for confirming.
I think in that game the ability for I think when they picked Centaur, I think it kind of fell into place.
Like
as
they picked
opposed
Centaur,
to us going in
like Viper's the obvious choice here because Viper screws Centaur and lane so hard.
Like Viper's not a hero. Yeah,
as soon as we picked that Viper that it was going safe lane. So when we were seeing safe lane bans, we were like, "Oh, this is excellent."
Yeah, because we never intended it as a safe lane hero at all. It was always never intended it as a mid laner. We always intended that as safe
It
lane.
was always going to be safe lane.
We all spoke about this and we're like, is it going to be? We thought you were putting it mid. We did think you were putting it mid.
We don't in our practicing we've tried not to crux on specific heroes because I think we're all quite versatile players. So yeah, we don't intend to.
I think
crux
It's just
on
that
heroes.
Viper worked so well in that second game when the
Have you-
Centaur came out. We were like, Viper just made so much sense.
I think the reason we thought it was mid was because of the Kunkka. It obviously was a good matchup there as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, like if
Well, I mean,
you
our fifth
could,
pick, we had quite a few picks for Hayden for what he wanted, and we literally just asked him, Hayden, what do you want to play against Kunkka? So that was literally like his choice.
yeah, and it's also really difficult to play Centaur into Viper in any game. It's just going to be hard. Yeah, it's just difficult. There's no way that game, even if the Centaur had a slightly better lane, it was always going to be unpleasant.
Did you guys manage to catch the other series or just the other series in general? Have you watched any of those games?
I watched the first. I watched the first series all the way through, and I watched the first 2 games of the second series.
Yeah, I can't remember them very well. I have watched them as well.
The third. Yeah, no, I got bored halfway through the second game of the second series because it was just a farm fest. It's just.
I see. Is there anything you guys are looking forward to facing or not looking forward to facing, or are you?
Just because of history, I'm really looking forward to facing Tom Nicholson.
Nice. Rivalry, yeah, tasty.
Both of those stacks know each other the best. So I think there's a lot of stuff we wouldn't be able to draft when playing against them. And they tend to have a pretty good knowledge of stuff that we can play. So I think the dynamic of that game will be very different in terms of the draft and yeah.
Brilliant. Well, it'll be something to look forward to. Let's see, is there anyone still who hasn't had a chance to ask? Bean, is there anything you'd like to ask the winners?
Well, first off, hello, I'm Green Bean. I don't actually know anyone from this team and I know the Flaming Marshmallows very well. I play with them often, so I found
So what you're saying is you're biased, Bean.
No, not biased. I don't
no.
know what to ask. Like, I don't know, like, going into it. Like, you said the first game you had an idea of who you were gonna play, and the second game it came from seeing the Centaur, and you knew Viper was gonna go safe lane. I liked the support picks the second game. I think Treant can be very good at helping to lock people down. So but I noticed in the first game there are a lot of support bans from
Yeah.
the Marshmallows are blaming a lot of
quite
support.
targeted.
They were targeted. I mean, yeah, they
I'm
were
not saying to
targeted.
who
I'm not saying to who or why, but they were targeted.
They were targeted to a person.
Yeah, I think our strength is we're quite adaptable and quite versatile. So if we can usually find a way to make something work. There aren't enough bans, I don't think. Yeah. I also like it with only 2 bans at the start of the game. I don't know about you guys. I really like that.
Compared to the 4 that it used to be.
That dynamic is way better for me, at least in terms of the overall draft. It means that it's harder just to pick a strat that you don't want to play against than completely ban it.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one, just seeing the different impact that they're picking. Yeah, you've got so you guys. Yes, you guys have your standard Juggo D-ban, I think, in both games, was it?
No, I think first they went Jug Mars.
Jug
Mars. No, they banned Mars. We banned Juggo D.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just
they banned Invoker Mars first game and then Invoker Fury in the second game.
I just don't know why Invoker is getting banned. It's just a bit from left field, to be honest with you.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, I don't get it.
worth ban then?
No,
Really
definitely
nice
not.
ban.
Oh,
Also,
I
Good for
it's
wouldn't.
you.
someone they didn't want to face.
Invoker's a
Good for
bad
you.
hero. We all know that.
Yeah,
I
no,
will.
no
I
chance.
will. I want to pitch this to. I mean, we got Benton in the chat, we got Henrik in the chat, and we got you guys in the chat. Is there one or two heroes you feel that are ridiculously meta breaking that you don't want? You just genuinely don't want to.
Yeah,
Well,
there are a couple of heroes. I'm not going to say who they are, but I think there are a couple at the moment.
I know. I think I can say one. I'll unplug my fucking router if I have to play against Jug. So that we're never playing against that hero. Any other hero, I don't give a fuck. But yeah,
Bad luck, Koala.
I will literally write to Now TV and cancel my internet subscription if I get.
I'll say right now, bad luck, Koala. You ain't playing it.
There's no fucking chance.
Don't call my boy out like that. He's gonna play it one game.
He did play it one game,
and we won. And we won.
And you didn't get it again.
I just speaking on Jug because I don't think it's giving much away that we banned Jug. Like I think that the hero in general just
he's just in an incredibly good place at the moment, and it's just
he's in a good place
to do what you want to do on him, I think.
And even if you're in a tough game, it feels like there's so many different ways to come back, and the ability of his ags just means that he is like Swift Slash means every 20 seconds or so he isn't afraid of fighting. It's not like old Jug where
support that easily.
Yeah, it's not like old Jug when he was looking at a fat cooldown on Omni Slash and he's like, oh guys, I don't necessarily want to fight, I don't have Omni. He doesn't care now. He'll fight every 20 seconds.
I love playing with it. It's so enjoyable as a support player. It's so nice to play with it. Like it just feels like a moron could pick it up and do all right with it.
Exactly.
Easy execution.
That's an interesting turn of phrase, Murray. It is an interesting.
That's why we
gotta say it how it is. Gotta say it how it is.
Sorry, what?
Wait, oh my god!
Hold up.
Murray's starting some infighting right now. He's calling his boy out.
We've already had insider fights, so it's fine. We'll get through them.
Good.
I think I think like short of Jug, I don't think there's anything else floating around right now which actually breaks anything. I think Ricky was really messed up for a while, but
yeah, with the Battle Fury Ags build.
I think he's fixed now. I think he's fixed. He doesn't seem so bad. Touch wood.
I think he's still strong. I just don't think he's as strong. He's definitely deal-withable.
Yeah, I think one sign I could tell that you guys really wanted to win is Gert actually bought phase boots on Axe. Any thoughts on that? Has he actually learned how to itemize?
How to play Axe?
Mate, his calls at the end of that first game were.
That was his first time on Axe, guys. Like it was literally.
First time Axe.
He made some incredible plays that first game, and he played like a fucking running genius that second game too, man.
Yeah, he had a really good game.
He's my personal pick for MVP of the series.
Okay,
I refuse to give it to the Viper out of disrespect for Ben.
I genuinely think
that's what I said as well.
I would like to lobby the vote for Dave.
Yeah, I'm canvassing for Dave as well. I think Dave played really well.
So before we we'll close it out now. So Aaron, can I get an MVP of the series from you, please?
I'll give it to Viper quite easily.
Okay, that's handy. Popular votes. So from our stream a day, you were very popular. Solid Nature's Prophet play, and when you were stood on the top of the ramp near the Roche, and you just delayed them about 15 seconds, 20 seconds. That was a very
we did call
moment.
that, but like.
I told them I was going to feed. I said I'm going high ground.
He said I'm going to go and feed them, but it will slow them down.
And that was a good play, and that's why you were getting a popular vote from our stream.
Yeah.
So I think, that's fairly balanced throughout. But yes, as you may have noticed in the spreadsheet, I am keeping track of the popular votes for MVP versus the Immortal players' votes for MVP, because for some reason, some people seem to believe there's a different weighting accorded to those. Now, I'm going to close the stream down now, guys. Welcome to hang out and chat. Obviously, well played. Looking forward to more games.
Thanks for
true.
organising it.
Have you got any clips for those games?
Well,
Did you find any?
it's on. Oh, it's a good question. No, not hugely.
So-
In fact, if anything, there were more clips for the other side. There was a Viper being hooked onto the tier 1 tower mid, I think 3 times in a row.
No,
Yeah, that was rough.
he blinked on me. No, he blinked on me twice, and then he hooked me the third time.
That was it.
Just a shout out to that Pudge. It was really scary playing against it, and I didn't have fun wondering where you were all the time. I was like sick.
It was good, but the thing is, I was dying in that mid, like under that T1 tower, but it was making space because we knew if the Pudge was there hooking me, he wasn't hitting Hayden.
Yeah.
And
we
needed Hayden to have a little bit of space so he could actually run with us. And then as soon as he was able to run with us, that's when we just started going forward.
Just to say as well, thanks for organising this. It's really fun playing in this like format with casters and breakdowns and interviews and stuff. It's
relate, dude.
Yeah. It's like it's just a good time. So
shut up, Aaron, until you can convince them to actually. Anyway,
I just want to play with my bots, bro. I just want to play with my bots.
Yeah. All right, there's.
Hey, I voted for that being allowed.
Yes, my man. Hey, that's why you get MVP. I mean,
BDB, do not go changing your story just because you're on air this time.
Hey, no, I did. I said I don't want them playing in the actual tournament, but I want them to play.
Aaron, and this is what I relate.
That's toxic. I take back my.
I said I wanted to play, but not competitively in the tournament.
So that's not playing, right?
Man.
That's not playing.
You could have had Albert Bot as MVP. The memes just write themselves, man. I'm just.
Aaron can play like career. He can smoke. Maybe Ward.
Well, thanks all. I'm closing the stream now. Obviously, you guys can stick around. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm to.
But,
cheers for the game, guys. Congrats on the victory.
This is
thanks for the game, guys.
You guys want to say hi?
Yeah, well played on that Pudge. It was stressful.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, it was stressful as fuck. Like I don't know, like you did a good job, but Pudge is such an interesting pick. I don't know. We all started laughing when you put.
I don't know. I just like hooking people.
Yeah.
What more do you need, right?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Like we've got a Pudge player with a pretty hefty amount of games as well, but I think I'd kill him if he picked it.
I mean, isn't that kind of like the favor of being the one picking? Wink, wink.
Your team probably were like, oh, "Are you serious?"